Overstand. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild, and I'm joined with my brother, one of my day one bros from Lennox Road. You already know how it goes. DJ extraordinaire, has done the radio, has done mixtapes, has done clubs, mixtapeologist, sound engineer extraordinaire. Been in the music game for over 20 some years. My brother, DJ Bloc in the building. What's happening, bro?
What's good, man? What's going on, man? Thank you for having me, bro. It's a fire intro, bro.
Appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I had
Yeah,
I had to give it up to you. You deserve your props. And again, thank you for tuning in. You got a lot of information, and you got to get your props, man. Like,
mm,
you know what I'm saying? So this is just one of them ones for me personally, bro.
thank you, man.
Subscribe.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having me, bro.
You're welcome,
See you
man.
doing your thing with the podcast and all that.
You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah,
it's just in us. It's just in us.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Again, y'all, this is the Overstand show. Why understand when you can overstand? Let's just get started, bro. I
All right.
probably know half of this stuff already, but this is not for me in the sense of the
Mm,
information. This is for everybody else. So let's start off from the very beginning. Your upbringing, born and raised, you know.
yeah. So, born and raised in Brooklyn, Flatbush to be exact. Lennox Road, been there my whole life. Well, I don't live there no more, but that's born and raised there. My parents are Caribbean. So my mom is from Montreal, my father's from Grenada. So I'm firstborn. I'm one of four. I got two brothers and one sister. I'm me firstborn. Me and my sister firstborn Americans. So my two older brothers born in England. So
Yeah.
that's that, and it started from Brooklyn, bro.
Yo, that's lit. So
Mm,
again, I know half this stuff, but you know what I'm saying? Again, this is for everybody else. So tell us some of your interests growing up in
mm.
Brooklyn and that, around that time.
Um, I mean, Brooklyn is a different place, man. So we got so many cultures there. Like you could get into so many different things, but I think the first thing was like first was sports, bro. Like sports and music was like the first love of like something that I fell in love with. Probably sports, but I was always around music. Our parents and all that, they always been playing music. You grew up in the '80s, '90s, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's a staple in the crib.
Yeah,
Somebody's
yeah,
playing music, whether you cleaning up, somebody having a barbecue or whatever, anything like that. But sports is something that I adapted to growing up outside on the block with everybody. We all played sports together. And then like the music being played in my house, like my father used to have parties like in the basement when I was a kid. I don't even know if a lot of y'all know this, right? This story. So it's crazy. Like in my crib, my pops used to like have parties in the basement. And I don't really remember them, but he was telling me like, yo, when I was mad small, like I used to be down there all the time, like just dancing. The music was like had me going. So I mean, my father always had a stereo in the crib, and my brothers and them they had systems, and it just grew into that. But that was a love of music that I didn't even know that I had, right? And but my first love was probably basketball, bro. So
uh-huh. So
yeah.
so so growing up in that area in Brooklyn, so you got music, you just got the culture, the sports, the
Mhm.
street element at that time was real tough and dangerous.
Yeah.
Um Why did you love basketball so much? What drawn you to basketball more than like anything else in the very beginning?
Out of out of other sports or just other things that's going on in the hood, like
Yeah, just in sports in general, just sports
um
out
in
of
sports, I mean, I don't know. I just think like I love football too, right? Because we
Mhm.
all played football when we was young.
Yeah,
A couple of us played with pads and stuff like that, and y'all went on and played high school, but I went played basketball.
yeah.
But for me, basketball, like I don't know, like so I'm gonna be honest, right? So when I was young, I had bronchitis, right? So when I
Hmm.
football is always in the wintertime, so it's cold. So
Yeah.
like after a few plays, bro, I'm tired, like I'm winded. So I'm like, man, I love the sport. It's fun to play. I love it, but like my gravitation just went towards basketball, and I think I got I was very athletic, and basketball for me I kind of gained the skills of basketball much easier. That game came to me like I didn't even have to work hard at it. You understand? Of
Mm-hmm.
course, I practice. We all practice, but
Yeah.
that game came fluent, right? So
Mm-hmm.
for you, football came fluent, right? For me,
Mm-hmm.
it was basketball. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I kind of gravitated to that. And then also going to the park, like watching my brothers play basketball in the park, because I remember they used to take me to the park and I used to be just sitting there watching, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and basketball is a sport that you can actually play by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can play it by yourself. So you can go, you don't need someone else. You need is a ball, right?
Yeah.
Football is totally different. You need somebody to play with. So you actually got to throw the ball back and forth. So I kind of gravitated to basketball more, but that was just a love of the game that I developed and I didn't realize I did.
That's lit. So you developed the love for the game. So you had to play
Mm.
in the tournaments,
Yeah,
basketball tournaments in the city.
right.
You
Yeah,
had you had to play high school ball. So
right.
tell us what high school you went to.
So I went to Westinghouse High School, downtown Brooklyn. That was a whole different animal, bro.
Yeah.
that that was a whole different animal. And I'm not afraid to show my age. So I'm 44. So I went to high school. I went in the middle, like 94 is when I went to high school to
Mhm.
98, right? I ain't graduate on time
Yeah.
because I was screwing around, but
Yeah.
I was supposed to graduate in 98. But at that time, it was like strictly like some real deal, like real ball. Like you had to be able to play to hold your weight, especially at school. And there was a lot of kids who played at Western House, like that wasn't even on a team that was nice, bro.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
like you know,
Yeah.
so that was another crazy time.
You know, um, again, I know the story, so I remember, coming back
Subscribe.
on the block, and they telling me like, "Yo, you had to see," it was like, "Yo, you had to see Block, yo, he was killing at Westinghouse, he was killing in the game, yo." Like I was like, "For real?" It was like, "Yo, I'm telling you, he nice." I was like, "Oh, all right." So then when I got to see you play, I believe in the screen tournament that used to be at IS2,
Yeah,
IS Park,
yeah,
and then like as a neighborhood, we all went to go play like Duncan's Delight, and then we went to
right.
go play like St. Columbia, and then
Yeah,
that's when I got a chance to see you play. I'm like, oh, all right, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Big bro, nice, okay, like he's
yeah.
supposed to be, like, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, it
So
was it was it was crazy, bro. Cause I didn't. I mean, I knew that I could play, but it was like not until when you start. Cause like when we was playing around the way, like you know that's a test, right? But then when
right,
you start playing against other people, right? So like playing at Dunkers, Marine Park, St. Columbia, playing at Gauchos, Mega Evers
mhm,
Gym.
yeah,
You starting to play against dudes who ain't from your hood, right? So you
yeah,
starting to play against people from, and then like Westinghouse is really like my like breaking grounds on actually playing against other talent because like we starting to play against like we playing. I ain't gonna lie, like I was cutting school,
yeah,
stupid outside. There was a park across the street from Westinghouse called Tillery Park.
yeah,
So if you
yeah,
from Fort
yeah,
Greene, downtown Brooklyn area, you know that park.
hmm,
Bro, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning,
yeah,
dudes is in that park running, bro. It's like
yeah.
serious game in there. So, that those attributes really like helped me with my game, you know what I'm saying? And then like also going to camp. Like going to camp was a big help too.
Hmm. Now, you being a serious baller at this time, how far was you looking to take basketball at that time?
Um, I think my goal, honestly, my love for the game, I just wanted to play D1. Yo, that was
Yeah,
it. Like I wasn't even thinking about no NBA. You know what I'm saying? Because I
yeah,
have respect for, not to say that I don't think I was good enough, but I know that's a different level
yeah,
of you got to take your game, right?
yeah.
And I'm only in high school, I'm like maybe 6'1", 6'2"
Hmm.
at that height, right?
Hmm.
So I'm fluctuating. They got me playing a three in high school. I know I ain't no three. I'm
Yeah,
I'm really in between a one and a two,
yeah.
right? But because of the dynamics of the team, we had tall guys, so I gotta play in between, right? Because they had
Hmm.
shorter guys who was playing point guard. But I just wanted to play D1. That was my dream.
Hmm.
Real that was my dream to play D1, like to go to college and play ball. But it didn't happen that way. And I mean, the NBA is everybody. That's everybody goal. Everybody
Yeah,
think they're good enough to go to
yeah.
the NBA, but bro. It's not a lot of people who even make it to the league, and there's guys who's way better than me, right? So
Mhm.
that was my dream, though, was to play D1.
And I don't think most people that's not from New York City wouldn't understand this, but being around 6'1", 6'2", playing basketball is very tricky because just like you
Mm-hmm.
said, you're normally going to play the 3 to 4 or the 5. Like if you're
Right.
very athletic, you might be lucky
Mm-hmm.
to play the 3, right? But more
Right.
than likely, you're going to play the 4 or the 5. So you play in a
Mm-hmm.
big man position when you're not a big,
No.
only because most of the guards in New York who are very fast, very quick,
Right.
got amazing handles, can't shoot worth the lick though. But but
Yeah.
they're very quick. But you need them on the court as well because they
Right.
are basketball savvy.
Mm-hmm.
It's tricky because now you playing a bigger role that at the next level, for a fact you will not be playing no 4 to 5,
Right. Yeah.
so
Because
it
those guys are shorter than me, right? So they gotta
mhm.
play one. They gotta play one.
Yeah,
So everybody gotta play a role, bro. You
yeah,
want to play?
yeah.
All right, that's what I gotta do to play. I'm gonna do it.
Now, if things had have changed the way you would have wanted, what school would you have picked at that time based on the climate of college basketball at that time? Because to me, college basketball at that time in those 90s, mid 90s, it was
Mm-hmm. It was tough,
woo,
bro.
whoa,
Like college basketball at them times, man. You remember you had at St. John's, you had Felipe Lopez, bro. You know what I'm saying? Syracuse, you had Adrian Autry, who was nice, bro. This is before Melo. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Like
hmm
then you got Iverson at Georgetown. You know what I'm saying? You got Steve Francis at Maryland. Like and like it's just so many. It's so many schools. I wanted to go to schools that I knew had great guys there that were
yeah,
flourishing. I should look up to Steve Francis. I'm like, yo, I want to go to Maryland, yo.
yeah,
I want to go
yeah,
to Maryland University. Of course, I always wanted to go to Tar Heels, right? Because I'm a
hmm
Tar Heel fan.
hmm
But like, come on, you got to be really like nice. And Ed Cota
yeah,
was there.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So it's
yeah,
like, you know, obviously, you know what I'm saying. If I get an opportunity to go to St. John's, definitely I'll go there. You know what I'm saying? Hofstra too.
yeah,
And I toured Hofstra, bro. I was at Hofstra with Jay Wright.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
but I would have definitely took the opportunity if it came through
yeah.
at
And,
Hofstra.
and shout out to Speedy Claxton because Speedy's
Speedy Claxton was there too, yo.
yeah, he was wicked.
Norman, Tom, all of them, yo. I
Yeah,
had conversations with all of those guys, bro. Like,
yeah,
and it was just a different time. Like basketball in New York City was like at an epic time, and I played against Marbury too. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah.
those
My
those
guy.
guys was no joke, bro.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Straight
no joke
killers.
at them times. Yeah.
Straight killers. I remember playing in a high energy tournament because
Hmm.
growing up, I'm used to playing with older guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
used to playing with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
when now as we get older, the age gap is not that far, but when you're
When you're
in
young,
those
yeah,
when you're young, those years it's really like night and day. So,
yeah.
you know, playing with the older guys and then playing with kids my age. So now I go to the Madison Square Garden to see the Marburys, to see
Hmm.
him play against Grady in the
Right.
championship because my coach was like, "Yo, you got this could be you
Yeah.
one day in the Garden
You
if
got to
you
come to the game.
yeah." But just bring it being in around that atmosphere, and it
Hmm.
felt like you just had to be really good. You had like
Yeah.
when we was little, we was taught go right and left, lay up with
Right.
it right and left, fundamental,
Yep.
twain through, practice twaining the whole block and
Hmm.
not losing the ball, like
Yeah.
fundamentals like that. So I remember that time where around like just around that time, you had to be really good to
Yeah.
even get
Right.
get some shine,
Yeah.
especially in
You
the
had to
neighborhood.
be in another level, bro. Like, because there was a lot of nice dudes in the hood, a lot of nice dudes, but you had to be on another level, bro. Like
Yeah,
Marbury's on a different level,
yeah,
bro. Like
yeah. Killer.
people don't even understand how good he was. He was
Mhm.
miles ahead of everybody. You know what I'm saying? And he on a jump shot, he getting he
Subscribe.
getting 2 feet in the air on a jump
Yeah,
shot, bro. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like
yeah.
he's pulling up from half court. People think Curry he was doing that in high
He
school.
been
He was
doing it.
doing that in college. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
yeah, yeah. Now that's a
So,
fact. That's a
hmm
fact. So can you remember your best game in around that time? Like the best game you've ever had around the high school time, or even in any of the tournaments that stick out in your mind still to this day? Like, damn, I remember that game where, I had to really put it on them.
I think it was probably high school, but St. Columba. I mean, I used to be going in on the niggas, right? They weren't that good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I was better
yeah.
than a lot of those guys, so it was easy for me. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, I was still learning the game. I was
Hmm.
young and I wasn't polished yet, right? So like high school, I think is when I remember one time we was playing against Tilden. We was playing Tilden. It was a forgot the name of this. It was something classic, bro. We was
Okay.
playing at St. Francis College. It was a
Okay.
tournament.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so our coach used to rotate us on starting. So that day he like, yo, he like D, because my name's Dwayne. He was like, yo, D, you starting today. I'm like, oh shit, all right, cool, let's go.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So I get in the game. I think like the first half, I might have had like 16 in the
Hmm.
first half. I was going crazy. And I don't know what got into me that day. I was just like, yo, like just ball, like
Yeah.
just go for it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like at that time, I had went to so right before that. So that game, I had like 16 in the first half. Second half, I didn't really have that much because I got poked in the eye. So second
Hmm.
half, I couldn't really see out of one eye. So I only had, I think, about like 20 or whatever like that. I
Yeah.
was on Sports Machine and all that, bro. Like
Yeah. Oh,
Sports
wow.
Machine, yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I was on Sports Machine. So
Yeah.
I was trying to find. I've been looking for that highlight reel. I can't find it. And then I knew one girl who had that tape, yo. One girl had the tape, and I lost contact with her. She had the tape of that game against Tilden, bro. So I don't even
Yeah.
have that. I don't even have the footage, right? And then another game, it was we was playing against Thomas Jefferson in East New York.
Hmm.
I think the game was going good. It was a tight game, and then like overtime, I just went off. I had 10 points in overtime. Like
Oh,
I
wow.
was going crazy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had and the game ended up going crazy. Like we almost had a fight at the end. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
we won,
Yeah.
but those rivalries in high school is different. But I think before that, like going to because I went to Hofstra camp like right before
Hmm.
that, and going
Hmm.
to Hofstra camp, actually working out with Speedy Claxton, Norman, and Rose and Jay Wright, like yo, that really helped me polish my game.
Hmm.
Before that, I could shoot, but I ain't had no rotation on my rock, right?
Right.
So
Right.
after
Yeah.
I went back and they taught me I was doing set lifts, all of that stuff, bro. Like my jump shot was crazy after that. Dudes was like, yo, son, like how? And it kind of that opened the game up for me because I was already fast and I already had a handle and I
Hmm.
could jump. So
Hmm.
once I got the jump shot, now it's like, now what you gonna do? And so
Yeah.
it just made the game easier for me.
Hmm.
So, but that was those are the two games that stand out for me. Besides the tournaments in the hood and all of that. That I mean that's like bragging rights for in the hood, but that don't really mean nothing because you do that every day,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
playing ball.
Yeah. I
Mm.
think that was probably the easiest thing for us to do in the neighborhood was to go play ball, to be honest
Yeah,
with you, because it's something that we could do immediately. And
right,
like you said, it didn't require, you know, uh, to us to play football, it requires the whole block. You know what I mean?
right, yeah,
But to play ball, it just requires one person. And if like, yo,
right,
you want to play ball? All right, let me grab my sneakers. I'm gonna meet you there, something like that.
yeah,
So, and then when you get to the park, it's Brooklyn. So
right,
like, all right, so for those who don't know, I live in Florida now. So
mm,
there's beautiful parks in Florida, beautiful
yeah.
parks. Ain't nobody on the court. Ain't
Same thing
nobody.
here in North Carolina. I mean, they got a few kids in the park, but it ain't because I'm in North Carolina right now, but I'm in Charlotte, so I drive past the park. I see a few kids out there, but it ain't nothing like how when we used to be out there,
Right.
bro.
Yes. Yes.
Like
Yeah.
50, 60 of us out there. You
Yeah.
lose, you ain't playing again for the day.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
saying
It's
like
a wrap. Yes.
it's over.
And see, for us, it wasn't just one park. If you go by all the parks in Brooklyn, from
Yeah,
anywhere from school hours all the way up to 8 p.m., it's going to
right.
be packed. And
All
so
day,
that's
every day.
it all day, every day. That's the easiest thing, the most safe thing, and something that's very fun and competitive. And we can be competitive without it being extra stuff
Right.
like playing, after playing like watching movies
Mm,
at that time, and we will see like a movie like Fresh when the kid was killing a dude
mm,
and then he got mad and then he turned around and shot him.
mm. Yeah,
When movies like Original Gangster, when the dude hustled him for the money, but he
yeah,
busted up and he ended up getting killed. We like I don't recognize that. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
we too competitive and sports is sports in Brooklyn. Like whatever
Right.
you do, if you play sports and it's sports, you
Hmm.
talk your crap on, playing sports, then it's sports. It
Yeah,
doesn't it normally 9 times out of 10
yeah.
doesn't leak outside of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was
Or
it's
the most part, it'll probably, if it got violent, it was probably a fight, like a fist
right,
fight.
right,
But then it wasn't taken to the next level where somebody's gonna shoot somebody. You know what I'm
right,
saying? It
right,
was more of like, yo, we gonna scrap it, and tomorrow they back cool because that's
right.
how adults do. You know, you just
Yeah,
fight
yeah,
and then
yeah,
squash because someone lost and they was in their feelings or whatever. But that's part of the Brooklyn that we grew up in. You know.
yeah, yeah. So, so when I see that, I'm like, damn. And when you see other places and they talk about basketball and you see like what they try to glorize, it's like that's not the image and the real that I grew up in. So,
Hmm.
and it's so crazy. Like you had to go through Stephon Marbury, pause. And then for me, like years later, I had to play Sebastian Telfair.
Right.
So, so it's funny how like the different,
Yep.
guys was there. And then for me, um, not just Sebastian Telfair, but he actually played with a guy that I thought was, I don't want to say, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like I
Was
thought
better than him.
he was that dude. And it was the dude named
Who?
Elijah Clark.
Oh, okay.
He was the two guard on Lincoln, but Elijah Clark was already
Mm,
6'6", 6'7",
yeah.
and he had the jump shot, and I was like, I remember one time, I'm only 5'11" at best. I went to go block
Mm.
it, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he
Like
looked at
you got
me,
an attempt, but
yeah,
that's it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Like he looked at me like, for real, like you really thought you was gonna block my shot? Like yo,
mm,
chill. I got it. You know what I'm saying?
right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's funny how, just the different, like, again, when one set of guys leave, the other set of guys walk through the door. That's just the
Yeah.
nature of sports. So
Facts.
so that's lit, man. So all right, so now we're talking about, well, we're leaving high school. What's the next step for you after high school?
Um, I wanted to go to college, right? So I only went to community college because of grades and stuff. So I had the opportunity. So when I went to Hofstra, so when I went to camp, um, and I was going into 12th grade, but my credit, I didn't have enough credits, right, to graduate that year. So they was like, listen, so we had this like an assistant coach. His name was Hirsch. I don't know, some Jewish guy. He used to work out. He used to have us working out with the team, but he
Mhm.
had connects with Hofstra. So he was like, "Yeah, Dwayne, come go to Hofstra camp. Go there for 2 weeks or whatever." Yo, I'm not even gonna lie, yo. I went to the camp. After I left the camp, I didn't even want to play ball no more, bro. Because like that's how I know. That's how I know, like basketball. Like when I watch certain people play, and I know like they're in the league or college or something like that. I know that they really that good, bro.
Yeah,
I like I and I try not to disrespect players who play the D1 or whatever because
yeah,
I know they got to put in a lot of work. I went
yeah.
to Hofstra, yo, 6 o'clock in the morning. I went there on a Sunday night. 6 o'clock in the morning, we wake up, go downstairs, eat breakfast. 7 o'clock, we on the court. 7 a.m. we on the court doing set lifts, bro. From
Yeah.
right
Subscribe.
under the hoop doing set lifts, one hand. They're like, yo, you're gonna do that for an hour. Just keep doing it and move back, take a foot back, step back, and keep doing that until you get to the top of the key. That's all we was doing for like an hour or two. Then they got you doing other stuff, just working on a whole bunch of things. So basically, what I'm saying, I'm there for 2 weeks, bro. It's in
Hmm.
Long Island. I'm at Hofstra University. We there for 2 weeks. By the time I got back, I was way better, but I was so burnt out from playing. I'm like,
Hmm.
yo, now I understand like what these guys do in college, NBA, like how much training you got to do. Because like
Hmm.
I'm used to, we at high school, my coach wasn't the greatest. He roll out the fucking ball and be like, "Yo, run it."
Go get it.
That's
Yeah,
that's our practice.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we doing three-man weaves and
Yeah.
certain
Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
that, but we not really. Our coach wasn't dialing in on like,
Right.
yo, get to it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So when I went there, I was like, oh shit, this shit ain't no joke, bro. Like
Yeah.
this is real. So I mean, after that, and then my senior year, there was like, yo, you don't got the grades to go to college right now. We could give you an opportunity to go to prep school in North Carolina.
Hmm.
So they was gonna send me to prep school. My parents said no. You know what I'm saying? So my parents, old school West Indian, they was like, we don't know nobody in live in North Carolina.
Yeah.
This is,
Yeah.
mind you, this is 98. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
98, 97. I'm 17, bro. I'm
Hmm.
17, about to be 18. They like, oh, we got an opportunity. Gave my parents a letter. They called everything. My parents was like, nah. So I was crushed after that. I'm like what? Like,
Yeah.
there's my opportunity. And mind you, my cousin, Leon, he in Queens, he playing at August Martin. We both playing ball.
Hmm.
He got the opportunity. He go to JUCO and
Hmm.
he go play overseas because
Yeah.
his mom's knew to let him take the steps. That wasn't my parents didn't want that. They ain't give me the opportunity. They was like, nah. And I get it as a parent when you get older
Hmm.
now, it's like my 17, 16-year-old kid. I get it now that I would probably give them that opportunity if I know, because my parents don't know sports and basketball like that. They don't know what it'll
Right.
turn into. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They just
Right.
think of from a parent perspective of keeping my kid safe, sending him to North Carolina. I know nothing about North Carolina.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I get why they said no now as a
Hmm.
parent,
Hmm.
but I would give my kid that opportunity if that's what he wanted to do, because I know where the game can take him, right?
Hmm.
So after that, and I'm kind of crushed. I'm still playing ball or whatever, but I'm already DJing.
Hmm.
So I'm like, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I always had audio in my background. And then a couple of years go by, and we just go from there. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. So now that you're DJing, now you basically pivot away from the game, because what most people don't realize
But
as
wait, I've been DJing though. I was DJing in high school, bro.
okay, but right,
I was DJing
okay,
in high school. I was doing the high school parties. I was
right,
DJing because I was doing the high school parties. I was DJing for them shits.
okay, all right, all right.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is now you're fully engulfed into DJing without having to worry about going to anybody's camp practices. That's what I
Mm.
like really meant as far as like the DJing. Like you really
Yeah.
like you was already fully engulfed in it, but you're not worrying about actually playing basketball in the sense of
Yeah.
you.
I
So
mean, so I'm a 17, 18, finish high school or whatever. And then it's just like I'm still playing ball though. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But I'm
yeah,
not thinking. I'm like, yo, I'm thinking I'm too old. I'm
hmm,
already like 20, 21, but you're not old. Like, but we don't got the G League like we got now,
right,
right? So
right,
those opportunities weren't there. Like, we talking about CBA. Like, I don't really think about going to a damn CBA
right,
or
right.
going overseas, or you don't even have those opportunities if you ain't been seen on a certain level. So I'm not thinking about basketball in that light. I'm just like, all right, cool. I'm just living day by day, messing with a
Hmm.
shorty. Then I have a kid. Then once you have a kid, you just like, oh shit, like this is real life. Now I got to get a job. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Now I got to figure out life. And that's what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm 21, 20. I was 22 when I had my daughter. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So it's like now you got to be a man.
Hmm.
You gotta provide for your child.
Hmm.
So that was my next thing on my mind. Like, obviously I'm still DJing, right?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I'm not thinking about DJing as a career.
Right. Right.
I'm just like, I'm doing local parties in the hood here and there, some in Manhattan,
Hmm.
blah blah
Hmm.
blah. I'm DJing at parties, but I'm not thinking about it as, yo, I can make a career out of it.
Right. Right. So
Mhm.
so at what point did you feel that you could make a career out of it? Because if you're DJing, well, you DJ since high school, so
Mhm.
that's like repetition. You building skill over time.
Right. Yeah.
So at what time did you feel like you had like, yo, I can really do this for a living? At what point did you feel that way?
Um. Probably when I was like, not until like, honestly, not until like 26, 27.
Okay. Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
not. All right, so let me rewind. Right,
Mhm.
so back in Westinghouse, if you know, Westinghouse is a vocational technical high school.
Mhm.
Right, so
Mhm.
when I went to Westinghouse in '94, we got shop classes. My first shop class was TV studio. Right,
Mhm.
so TV studio, you basically dealing with music, you're dealing with TV, computer technology, all of that stuff. Right,
Right.
they basically got a TV studio in the school.
Right.
Mind you, I'm already DJing at that time.
Mhm.
This, like, I've been DJing since I was like 11 years old. This is like 91, 92. Because
Mhm.
my brothers had turntables in the house.
Right.
So when they're playing, my brothers were DJs. So that was just something I picked up in the house, and I was just learning.
Mhm.
As I'm learning, all through high school, 94, 95, 95, my brothers and them was DJing for John Jay College, their parties.
Mhm.
I was DJing
Yeah.
at 15 at
Yeah.
college parties. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Even on the block parties back in the days on the block, I'm outside standing on the crates DJing.
Mhm.
I'm young. I'm 13, 14, 15
Yeah.
DJing. And when they was telling me, like Patrick and Sammy and them, they was like, yo, D, you really good. Like you could mix. Like you caught on to this shit quick.
Yeah.
My thing, what I was doing, right? So because I watched them play music in the house for so many years from a kid. When they would leave to go to parties, I would go in a room and start DJing. So I used to go in my brother's room, Patrick's room, and start DJing when he wasn't there.
Yeah.
That's how I got better. But I'm sitting and I'm listening to what they're doing. And they teaching me how to count bars and stuff like that. And that's how I started getting into it. But I always been DJing all throughout high school. When I was 19, 20, 21, then when I started getting a little bit older, I'm still DJing. But we're doing parties, right? So now we transitioning from records to CDs. And I'm doing parties. So now I'm
Mhm.
building my own repertoire of music. And it's not until like when I got to like 26, 27, when I met my wife, that's when I started to think about it on a business perspective. Like,
Mhm.
yo, I could really make this shit a career.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's when I started to think that way. But for me, all those other times, even up to my 2021, I'm just going to the park. I just want to play music. I
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
thinking about it for the money. I
Yeah.
wasn't trying to get paid.
Mhm. So, and shout out to Pat and Sammy, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Some of the older bros
yeah.
and the homies. Um, so now at this point, like you built the skill all this time from DJing for years now. You know,
Mm,
petition, being around the parties, DJing the parties, being the lead DJ in the parties, learning the vibes, learning when to turn the party up, learning when to cool it down, learning
mm,
your crowd. You have to know your crowd if you're DJing people, um, and knowing when to turn it down to the point where the party is so popping that you have to turn it down because it could go to a volatile level only because people
mm.
are excited.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So now that you have all this and
It
and
took me years to learn that though.
right,
That part of like learning to turn down on a party and not having too hype.
right. Yes. Yeah, because that is a major factor,
Mm,
especially anywhere, but in New York
right.
City, and for people that don't know, the reason why that is important because when you're DJing at a rate, well, when you're DJing at a club or doing a house party, block party,
Mm,
it's a business, and that business has to be maintained, and they
right.
can't have dysfunction and altercations
Yeah.
while the party is turning down. You want people to leave how they came, chill,
Right.
X, so we could double back and do this again. That's how the money keeps being made. If the
Right.
people have altercations and bust up the party, then guess what? Now you have to take care
Right.
of certain things, especially if the insurance of the party is not covered. So that's
Right.
why that goes into part of you know what I'm saying or what we're saying. So now that you have this, you're saying like, yo, I could really do this. At what point did you feel like you got your break as a DJ? Because now you doing part. I mean, you're doing clubs. I mean, you're doing block parties. You're doing well clubs. You're doing colleges. Where,
So the So let me take you to like certain years because like the clubs and all that shit came after, right? So
Mhm.
high school time, I'm doing high school parties, I'm doing local parties, I'm doing John Jay party. In my 20s, I'm doing like clubs throughout Brooklyn, right? Like
Yeah.
a lot of Brooklyn clubs and stuff like that. And then like early 2000s is when we started to like transition to like Manhattan and doing those types of clubs,
Yeah.
right? But in between that, I'm still DJing local like little parties around the way, baby showers, stuff like that. But I'm not confident in myself enough to feel like I'm not that type of person that's gonna be like, oh, I'm the best DJ. I need to be on this at this time. I'm not that type of guy,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
I get in where I fit in, and maybe that's downfall to me. But I'm not that type of person to be like, oh, I need to be playing at this spot. Yeah, I may feel like I need to be playing at this spot, but if that opportunity don't come about, I'm not gonna shit on someone else or be like, yo, I need to be there. I'm better. I'm That's not me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So mind you, so I'm doing like baby showers, parties like this and that, and like people's telling me like, "Yo, Block, yo, you too good for that. Like you should be doing bigger and better things." I'm like, "All right, cool," but not until when I met my wife. Now she was my girl at that time. This
Mm-hmm.
was like 2006, 2007, really. She's like, "Yo," she sat me down. Because she used to come to some of the parties. She's
Yeah.
like, yo, and she listened to me play music in the crib. She like, yo, you really good. Like I've heard, and I'm not just telling you because I'm your girl. Like I've heard you play. Like you're better than some of these places that you're playing at. You really need to apply this and like
Mm-hmm.
take it to the next level. And that's when I started to like, I because people's telling me over the years, but when she's telling me, it's like, all right, it's really making sense. Like
Clicking.
somebody clicking on you, right? And mind
Mm-hmm.
you, all this time I'm DJing, right?
Yeah.
My parents, my parents was like, "Yo, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, why you out there playing music? Don't like." And my parents, they old school Caribbean, they like, "Yo, I know how parties get down. People be arguing over who's DJing and this and that. Yo, just make sure you be careful." I'm like, "Yo, I'm good. I'm good. Like,
Yeah.
I'm good." Up to this day,
Yeah.
like my parents, like they've been in my crib and all of that. My parents call me, "Oh, you was DJing? Oh, okay." Like, yo, mom, like this is my career.
Yeah.
I bought this crib, all this shit. This ain't come from like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So they ain't see it, but I seen it. But just growing and it clicked like 2007. That's when it's like, all right, cool. I could really make this into something,
Mm-hmm.
and apply it and be professional, like making money from it and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
So when did
Mhm.
you feel like your first big break as a DJ, like took you from one level to the next, happened like after that?
I think it was like um maybe like 2011. So like I'm skipping years, but
Yeah.
so I'm gonna tell you the story. So this is where I started. This is the story is gonna build up to where how I felt I became able to flourish. I'm in Brooklyn. The majority of parties that I'm doing is like Caribbean parties, right? I'm playing a lot of reggae music. I'm playing hip hop too, but playing more Caribbean music, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I used to DJ at this radio station. It's called what the fuck is the name of the station? I forgot the name of it. It's in Bushwick, right? So I'm in
Yeah.
it. I'm DJing. I'm doing my show. I think it's like every Thursday or something like that. But my show is right before this lady show. Her name is First Lady L,
Mm-hmm.
right? And no, DTF Radio. That's the name of it.
ECF radio. Yeah.
DTF Radio.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was doing it. So at that time, that's when we had A-list radio. Remember, Wagwan Radio was going
Mm-hmm.
on. Then we
Yeah.
had DTF Radio. So that's at the time when internet had so many radio stations. So I'm on DTF Radio because I'm like, yo, I already know how to play Caribbean and dancehall music. I don't want that to be my only angle. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be known as, yo, he's just a Caribbean DJ. Because I already seen that they're not paying no money and they don't want you to grow. So I'm like, I don't want to be in that box.
Mm-hmm.
So I started DTF Radio. I started playing on DTF Radio. First Lady L, Murder Mommies, their show was after mine, right? So when they was to come in, they used to hear me finishing my show.
Yeah.
So that's when she used to be like, yo, Block, yo, you kind of nice. Like,
Yeah.
yo, you can play music. I'm like, all right, thank you. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, yo, Sunday, she's from Jersey. She like, yo, Sunday, come through to Jersey at Jersey Girls. I'm be there. Just come through and play a set. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, cool. I ain't think nothing of it. I
Yeah.
go on my laptop. I played it one night. It's a strip club, right?
Mm-hmm.
First
Mm-hmm.
time DJing a strip club, bro.
Yeah.
So this is 2011. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm DJing a strip club. I'm killing this shit. She was like, yeah, come back next week. That turned into I had the residency there for like a year or two. Mind
Fine.
you, she's the promoter for it. DJ Envy is the promoter too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Envy's name is on the flyers, big ass name. My name is under his name, Matt Small,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I had to pay my dues.
Yes.
I'm the fucking
Subscribe.
DJ, bro.
Yeah.
I'm the one DJ killing the party.
Yeah.
I'm DJing.
Yeah.
He's getting the light, you know what I'm saying? But people who's coming to the club know they see me, and that's how when I started doing that, because I'm the only DJ, right? So in
Mhm.
Brooklyn parties, there's usually like 3, 4 DJs. I'm the only DJ DJing that night.
Yeah.
Envy will come through. He would look around for a few minutes or whatever, chill, collect his bread and bounce. He's
Yeah.
not DJing the party, but his
Yeah.
name is on it. So I'm DJing from 9 to 2 a.m. Once I started to realize I could DJ that long of just playing hip hop music,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of grew me as a DJ, and like that made me realize, oh shit, like I'm nice, like I could do this, bro. Like
Yeah.
I'm good,
Yeah.
and I'm playing straight like hip hop music. I'm not playing no reggae, bro. So,
Yeah.
but I always know how to play hip hop. That was like my pedestal of like, all right, I'm nice, I could play. That opened doors for me playing with Sus One, Camilo, enough, certain DJs
Yeah.
in the city. You know what I'm saying? Whole bunch of them. Cash
Yeah.
One, like that's
Yeah.
how I got into doors of playing in the city and growing. So I mean, that was like that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So now thinking about because you like now you're listening to who's who of New
Hmm.
York radio, like the names
Right.
that you just named. For I'm some time has passed and everybody has moved on to different things, but
Right.
a lot of these guys are still around, and a lot of these
Hmm.
guys' names ring super bells around
Right.
that time because they had their own, shows. They had their own mix
Hmm.
playlists on like Hot 97 or Power 105,
Right.
um, and different radio stations as well. And then looking at everything, how the landscape that it was, because I remember around 2007, 2008 was like my first year doing music. So I remember
Hmm.
that landscape so crazy because like you needed the DJ. So
Yeah.
we're gonna fast forward just a little to today where the DJ is seen to be faded. I don't want to say faded out or phased out, but it felt like I remember at that time. I know I had to build relationships with DJs, personal relationships with DJs,
Hmm.
so that way my music can flourish. Now we're at a point where a lot of artists feel like they go straight to YouTube or social media to build their career.
Yeah.
They don't have no relationship with no DJs. So, what do you think is the effect of that in today's hip hop?
What caused it, or what's the effect?
The effect of the artists not going through the DJs now, or feeling like they don't have to.
I think. I think the the effect of them not needing the DJ has become a problem because now the music portion, right? Because when you're talking about like 2007, when you started, you know, you had to connect with a DJ to get your music played, right? Now you could just put your shit out, put it on the internet, or you could just, or you could create a song and not have any insight from anybody who knows music because of technology, right?
Mhm,
So you can go in the studio, you can make a song, you could give it to a DJ, or you could put the song out, and the song will probably be hot for a month, but it's not really properly made it's not made for a club,
mhm,
so it don't get played in the club, and because they could bypass certain aspects of getting music to the point where it should be made.
mhm,
That effect has a cause on songs where those songs become microwave. You
mhm,
know what I'm saying? It comes in hot and it drops really fast.
mhm,
I think that's the effect of not working with a DJ or A&R or someone who knows music to be like, yo, this is it or this ain't it. You know
mhm,
what I'm saying? And
mhm.
sometimes they could say this ain't it, but the record could be it.
So
You know.
being that the knowledge and the information that you have of music, knowing that majority of the music is microwave, do you feel like because of that, that's it's really on purpose why the music is microwave? Or, I mean, they know, like the people, the artist that's making the music, obviously going to think is the best stuff ever. But
Right.
the people who distribute the music, they've been in the business for a while. They know this is microwave music.
Mhm.
Do you feel like they just want to profit off of it because they don't care, or they?
Yeah, they don't care. You know, it's all about ads and shit like that. So if you put in your music on social media or YouTube or whatever, I think that's how you get paid, right? Through
Mhm.
ads and
Yeah,
subscriptions, right? So it
yeah,
don't really matter how good the song is. You know, they got
hmm
360 deals.
yeah,
You don't really care about your music. Is how important are you of an artist? Like how much people are following you.
hmm
You know, and they know that the industry know that, and they just making money off of it. They don't. I don't think they're in it for the long term goal of an artist developing
hmm
and making great music.
yeah,
Those days are gone.
yeah,
You know, is the music is just an avenue to get seen,
hmm
and that has happened in the DJ game too,
hmm
with followers and shit like that. You got more followers out of. I mean, now I could play at your party. Don't mean you could play music.
right, right, right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same concept.
No,
It's technology, bro.
like I've been on tour. I've done a couple tours,
Hmm.
and especially recently. And there's a
I
couple.
know you ain't fucking hit me to DJ your shit, nigga. No,
Yo,
I'm playing with you, guys.
that was yo, but that was last minute though, right? So,
Nah, it's all dope. It's all good.
but the reason why I brought that up is because I felt like I had to go through a gauntlet of music people for even for me
Hmm.
to make music, right? But that made me a better artist, especially in performing. So I've done shows, I've done tours with a few artists that have the bigger brand, the bigger name, more followers, but on stage, it's
Hmm.
not close. And I'm not saying that as a diss to them. I'm saying that
Hmm.
because my battlefield that I had to, in order for me to even make music, was heavily critiqued.
Right.
And I come from playing sports, so I'm a very competitive person by nature,
Hmm.
and I have to like dominate in everything that I do. So
Hmm.
in the music space, when I'm being critiqued, especially in the beginning, it was very hard for me because when I played sports, sports came very easy for me.
Hmm.
Easy football, basketball,
Yeah,
boxing.
because we was super hella athletic, bro.
Yes, yes.
So learning the fundamentals was easy.
Yes. Yeah. So and then on top of that, anytime I played, if a coach is trying to teach a player, they be like, "Yo, Ash, do that again for him." All right, this how you do it. This how you hit somebody. This how you run the ball. This how you throw it. This how you catch it. They'll use me as an example. Now I'm getting to music, and it's like, "Yo, bro, you're not supposed to layer your vocals like that. You're not supposed
Hmm.
to sing it like this, or you're not supposed to,
Hmm.
use you're using the snare in the wrong place as far as making the
Hmm.
these are things that drove me crazy because it's like there's a science to making music. Now we
Right.
don't have that, and now I see artists that they get on stage, they rock and they got energy, they you know what I'm saying, they got their
Hmm.
following, and that's cool. But I felt like I had to go through that gauntlet of like really being an
Yeah.
artist and really being developed. And I think it makes the game worse, in my opinion, just like you, because we're not going to get not only great music, but we're not going to have no foundation. So we have microwave all the time. 10 years from now, what are we going to listen to?
Yeah, it's the same thing with DJing, bro. Is the gift and the curse of technology. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not hating on no younger DJs or whatever like that, right? So because they didn't have to go through what I had to go through to play music. You feel me? Like my time, I was gifted, right? I was gifted to have older brothers
Subscribe.
and people around me who was playing music where I had to learn the hard way, bro.
Hmm
Like I had to learn like I'm gonna show you something right here. I ain't gonna turn my camera, but I got mad records in my room, bro.
Yeah,
Like I got
yeah,
like my whole wall is full of records, right? These are just 45s, right? So I had to actually buy that.
yeah,
Some of those I had to buy.
yeah,
If you don't buy that, you can't be a DJ.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it's like you had to actually take necessary steps to be a DJ. You had to buy turntables. You had to buy a mixer. You had to buy speakers. Just like being an artist, if you didn't have money or you didn't have somebody who had a studio, you ain't recording anything.
Yes.
You ain't putting no music out, right? Get granted, these younger cats, technology has come and it's great because now you have artists with technology, and I'm not hating on no artist that's young because technology has opened the doors that you can hear artists that would have never had an opportunity to even get in the studio who's talented,
Yes.
right? So I'm not saying that technology is all bad. I'm saying it has that avenue, which is great. And then you have an avenue where you have people putting out garbage who's not, the music isn't good because there's no governance over it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And the same thing with DJing, right? Like there's no governance over DJing
Mm-hmm.
at this point. You go buy a laptop, DJ tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You can go online and buy a whole terabyte of music. You the DJ tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not knocking it, right? Because technology has helped people like technology being able to DJ off the laptop has helped me tremendously
Mm-hmm.
because now I have the ability to play songs that I would never go buy.
Right.
I would never go buy that record.
Right.
Now I have the ability to download the record and play it.
Yeah.
You could play gospel or soca or Latin music if you're nice enough to do it. But if you don't have those songs, how are you going to be able to do it? You know what I'm so
Yeah.
the gift and the curse of technology has helped and went bad in both aspects, like what you're talking about.
So, with that being said, what is one thing that you've learned over time that you would give to a new DJ up and coming and wants to be, one of the greats one day, be at your level one day?
Um, I would definitely say that a DJ he should take some music lessons. Take some music lessons, bro, or some audio lessons. Like learn the audio spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Learn the music spectrum, right? Understand how measures and bars work and all that stuff, right? Because those are very important part of music. Time. Time is important in music, right? I think because with technology today, with Serato and Pioneer DJ and all those things, you don't really got to learn all of that because it kind of does it for you in
Mhm.
the background of the PC of the laptop,
Mhm.
which is great. But if you know measures and bars and all that stuff, it makes you just a better DJ on time.
Mhm.
You understand mixing and scratching and all of those things. And I think like having to sit in the background
Mhm.
for some time
Mhm.
is very important because you kind of watch and learn how to attack a crowd and not to attack a crowd, and experience is the best teacher.
Mhm.
Failing. I
Mhm.
failed many times, bro.
Mhm.
Many times I've been in parties and I'm like, damn, I ain't played good,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
or just nervous. It happens.
Yeah. Yeah. That is very common. Um, Especially when you first get up there. I know my very first 5 shows,
Hmm.
stomach was in knots.
Hmm.
I forgot half my words while I'm performing, and like
It happens. You
you
get
know,
nervous.
yeah. And then, but what I realized too, to add on to your point, what a lot of people need to do is rehearse. Really
Yeah.
put the time and the effort in because, like, even for me, right, when I used to go to the studio, I would never work on music until I'm on my way to the studio. So I wouldn't write my song until I'm on the train. I wouldn't work on anything until I got in the studio. So I didn't properly prepare for something that I wanted.
Mm.
When I did show,
Yeah.
I didn't rehearse. I was like, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna have y'all background singing. I'm gonna have y'all dance, and then now I'm just gonna put this together like. But I didn't rehearse none of this. So
Hmm.
when I start rehearsing and start really paying attention to the little details that will help me go to the next level, that's when I really see a gain in how
Yeah.
I perform and how I made music. I think a lot of these artists and DJs they have to really prepare if they really want to do this. So the person
You
that
gotta put your 10,000 hours in.
yes. So like for example, like I'm people may kill me for this, but I'm a big R. Kelly fan. I'm a big Jay-Z
Mm-hmm.
fan. I'm a big Nas fan. I'm a big 50 Cent fan. Like these are my favorite guys. I'm a big J. Cole fan. These are my favorite
Mm-hmm.
guys. And when you look at them and they so spectacular in how they move, and especially Busta Rhymes with his stage presence and
Mm-hmm.
DMX with his energy, outside of DMX as far as energy, because I don't think you can really teach energy or prepare for energy, but everything else is preparation and dedication. And those guys, they make performing look easy. So
Mm-hmm.
you trick yourself to believe that they just got up there and they just did that.
They just doing it. Yeah, nah, they practice that.
Hmm. So I had to realize myself that you have to put in the preparation time. You have to put them ten
Mm-hmm.
thousand hours in to just be good. And
Yeah,
and then when you want to be great, good is not good enough to be great. So now you got to do extra on top of that, and it takes a little
right.
talent on top of that, and you got to really do the work. So
It's so crazy, bro.
you know what I mean? So
Because like I hear you. I'm not. I don't even like. I put in 10,000 hours, right?
yeah,
I put in that time, and when I say like putting in 10,000 hours, I mean 10,000 hours of just practicing in my
yes,
crib.
yeah,
Like I'm not even in. I'm not even talking about at a party.
yes,
Just in the house, just mixing.
yeah,
And my wife was the one who brought up that term. She was like, "Yo, you gotta put your 10,000 hours in, yo, before you get to the like certain levels." Like, and I'm like, "Shit!" Like, I gotta like, and I used to be in the crib like practicing, like just
hmm
playing music all day.
hmm
I don't do that no more.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I need to do it.
Mhm.
I need to do it. Like, and honestly, I'm gonna keep it a band. Like a lot of parties that I DJ now, I'm DJing off of the wing of my head, like just because I know
Mhm.
music and I know what goes good with what because I've been doing it for freaking damn near 30 years, bro.
Yes.
So I can do that, but I should be practicing more. I just don't have the time to
Mhm.
practice. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So like, because I got three residencies,
Mhm.
right? So I'm booked every weekend, and during the week I'm an audio technician. I don't have time to
Yes.
just go in my crib and just see my shit behind me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't even
Yeah.
turn this on, bro.
Yeah.
I got this here and I got another one in the bag that I just take to gigs.
Yeah.
So I don't really have the time, which I gotta make time. I can't use that as an excuse. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because I can still get better.
Yes.
Right? It's always getting better
Yes.
every day, and I get better because I sometimes before I DJ at the party, like I'm doing a mental practice in my mind, or
Mhm.
like I hear something, I'll be like, oh, this will good with that. And I'll make a mental note and I remember it and then do it. A
Yeah.
lot of shit I'll be doing on the fly though.
Yeah.
But
But see, but there's a difference between what you're doing now, because now you're going based off of again knowledge, repetition, and years of doing it, opposed to
muscle memory.
right of muscle memory opposed to just really getting into it and having to even
Mm,
develop that. So
yeah.
a lot of new artists, whether they're artists or DJs, they just do it instead of really working on the craft to
Hmm.
be really put
Yeah.
into the real conversation of being better. So
Yeah.
so
You gotta put that time in.
yes, yeah. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. I just wanted to add that part to it. So you had mentioned something that I was actually hinting to, um, is sound engineering. Now, what made
Hmm.
you want to take it to a whole nother level outside of DJing and become one of the best sound engineers around?
Cause mind you, growing up, my brothers and them they had sound systems, right? And we talking about back in the 90s, 80s, even when our parents had sound systems in the
Yeah,
house,
yeah,
the amplifiers, equalizers, all of that, right?
yeah.
So I was always intrigued and always fascinated with the lights on it. How does it work? How is sound coming out of that? Like those were the things that was tweaking in my mind. Like, yo, how is music coming off of this record from a little needle?
Hmm.
So I'm like, yo, how is this possible? So, going to Western House TV studio, that was an introduction. My brothers and them having a sound system, that was an introduction. So as I'm DJing over the years, yeah, we buying speakers, and that's the turn. Now things are turning into from regular speakers to powered speakers,
Right.
right? So now that transition has happened throughout the 2000s. But I always had a love for it.
Mm-hmm.
One day, me and my wife were at a fucking Jay-Z concert,
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden. I
Yeah.
think it was Jay-Z and Mary J. Blige. Matter of fact, maybe like 2009.
Mm-hmm.
We at the concert, sitting right next to the sound mixing engineers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're the mix engineers that's sitting in the crowd. So I'm like, I'm looking at them and I'm seeing there, and I'm like, yo, there's some white guys in there, some black guys in there. I'm like, yo, these niggas look like they chilling.
Yeah.
What they doing? Mad mixing boards up there, the lights going, they drinking champagne. I'm like, yo, what is going on? But I already know these guys are responsible for how this place is sounding,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Are even more important than artists, right?
Yes.
But people don't know that, right?
Yeah.
I'm standing there, I'm looking at them. Also, there's engineers on the stage, behind stage, right? Those guys is working on things too. But I'm sitting, I'm looking at the mix engineer. So I'm like, yo, that's what I want to do. Like I've always had this in my mind. I always want to do it. My wife's like, all right, cool. Go to school for it.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, I always wanted to work in radio though. Because when I went to Kingsborough Community College and I was studying broadcasting management. I was studying broadcasting. And I was doing radio and I realized, yo, radio don't really pay shit. Like it's hard. And then I went to IAR. I went to school for audio engineering, and that's how I got into it. I went to school, and then I learned how to mix shows, um, how to do, how to build sets, all that stuff. You know,
Mm-hmm.
how to do post production. I don't even use it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I learned all of that. Pro
Yeah.
Tools, Logic,
Mm-hmm.
working on Yamaha soundboards and all that. And then I just kept working at that, and then I kind of moved more into the technician role of like servicing. Like now I handle like microphones and stuff like that for like big companies. I don't know if I should say what company I work for here, but you know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
do that by day, you know what I'm saying? So I work with a lot of Shure microphones, QLXD and all of those types of things where I got certificates and all of that stuff in there. So but it started from that.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
So to segue a little bit, right?
Mhm.
Today's music, we got a whole lot of diss records going on,
Mhm.
right? Who do you think had the most solid diss record so far? I mean, you had, like I said, Chris Brown,
Chris Brown.
Quavo to Chris Brown,
Chris Brown.
Kendrick, Chris Brown.
I mean, all right. So I'm gonna break it down into like 2, 3 different aspects, right, of music.
Okay.
So because I'm a DJ, I'm always listening to sonically
Mm-hmm.
to hear how a song sounds on a club level, right?
Mm-hmm.
On a club level, just a listenable level. Something that makes like music that makes there's different types of music. There's music that people just want to listen to and mellow out to. There's music to make you move and dance. There's music to get you in a good or a bad mood. So I'm usually in between where the music feels good and it makes you want to be in a good mood, or it sounds good and you want to move to it.
Yeah.
So that's the spectrum that I'm always moving on, right? Because I'm a DJ. I don't want to play boring music. I want people to move,
Yeah.
right? So for me, lyrically, sonically, the way that the record sounds, I think Chris Brown has the best sounding record
Yeah.
with the lyrics, the way he dropped it, all like it sounds better than everyone else's record, maybe besides J. Cole. I think J. Cole's first one,
Yeah.
7 Minute Drill, was
Yeah.
really good because that record was actually properly mixed and mastered and all of that stuff for it to be put out. So that record sounds much better than everything else, except I think Chris Brown's own
Mm-hmm.
sounded really good too, with the bars and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
His delivery and everything.
So with all these diss records right now, do you think it's a good thing for hip hop, or because I'm not gonna lie to you, as far as
subscribe,
streaming, hip hop we haven't had too many number one records in like a solid year, if I'm not mistaken. So do you think this is good for hip hop? As of right now with all these diss records?
Um, It might be, but I don't think it is for the simple fact that because of who these artists are. Maybe between Chris Brown and Quavo, nobody really, not to say that we don't care, but they are not two of who worked with each other and did music with each other before.
Right.
So
Right.
like between J. Cole, Drake, Kendrick, Rick Ross, like these niggas all made music together, right? So
Yeah.
to me, now that y'all beefing, it sounds a little stupid. So like I'm a big J. Cole fan, right? I
Mhm.
love J. Cole music. I think J. Cole, besides our era of growing up, I think J. Cole's the best one out of all of these younger, a little bit younger than us, right?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I think J. Cole, I'm not talking about 90s and 2000s.
Right.
Anything above that is a different tier. I think J. Cole's the best one out of
Right.
all of them when it
Yeah.
comes to music, sonically, what he's talking about, and probably Kendrick is right there because
Mhm.
he talks about substantial music, like substance in his music.
Mhm.
But I don't think it's a good. I not understood why he apologized and he think it wasn't a good thing for him to do.
Mhm.
And I respect it as a man, as a
Mhm.
father. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Where him and K Dot, they families know each other. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? A lot of people don't know that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they're cool. They're cool peoples. So, but it might be good for hip hop, but I don't really care for it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think from what they have done together already, this is kind of like going backwards. You
Mhm.
know, but it
Mhm.
might be good for hip hop. It's just my opinion.
Yeah. So I mean, I've heard all the diss records, and you know who still stands, and I don't think he gets the props that he deserves. But it goes to what you're saying as far as it could be or it couldn't be. Like the way how I look at it, I think it's good for hip hop in the sense of competition because this is
Mm-hmm.
the first time, whether it's hip hop or sports, that we're seeing people go at it. Even though they all cool and are supposed to be cool and they all supposed to make music together or they do make music together, it's like the first time we're not seeing like everything is so like happy. You know what I mean? Like as like, yeah, you my bro, and y'all really not bros. It's like it comes off as fake.
So
So
hold on.
yeah,
Nah, go ahead. Finish your thought. Finish.
yeah.
I'm
So
gonna say something about that effect.
so that's why I say I think it's good because it just shows the competitive spirit. Now it shouldn't move outside of the realm of the music. You know what I'm saying? I just think
Mm,
it's good for the competitive nature.
right.
Hmm.
I think from the competitive nature, I get where you're coming from, right? So for me, basketball, that like competitiveness, I'm trying
Yeah,
to kill you on the court,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Trying to kill you. Music, there's really no competition in music to me because music is a mission, not a competition, right? It's an
Hmm.
art form,
Right.
right?
Yes.
You're creating art. He's creating art. You can say I like his art better,
Hmm.
but how can you really measure up somebody and say that they're better than them?
Right.
You really can't in music. I mean, yeah, this person can rap a little bit better, they can sing better, but
Right.
everybody has their good and bad in music, right? Because it's
Right.
art.
Right.
Basketball is a little different,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
like when Golden State played Cleveland, at that point in the finals, LeBron had to face up with KD.
Hmm.
You say you the best.
Hmm.
We on the court.
Yeah.
There's nothing else matters at this
Yeah.
point. We on the court. You got to show what you worth.
Yeah.
You understand? Like every game, playoff basketball. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's a team sport, but you can match up one on one in
Hmm.
basketball.
Yeah.
Not like that in football. Football is
Right.
a little different. So it's kind of like they put in Mahomes against Josh Allen. How? Like they
Right.
don't. They're
Yeah.
not playing against each other. They're not on the field together. You understand? So
Yeah.
it's a little different. But I get it from the perspective of competition in music where it's not so happy. But for me, the whole point about that is that why I don't like it is because it's not like Rick Ross and 50 Cent was battling, but
Yeah.
Rick Ross and 50 Cent never was friends.
Right. Correct.
They never made
Now.
music together,
Yes.
right? So it's like now, and I'm not a Drake fan, right? I don't really care for Drake's music. I think his music is really good. I play it in the club. I'm not a fan. I don't dislike him or anything.
Right.
But it's whack to me that y'all made so many songs with this guys and hits, and
Mhm.
now it's a problem. He's this and he's that, and he's whitewashed. And y'all wasn't thinking about that when y'all was doing the records before.
Right.
Why is
That's
this
true.
a problem now?
That's true. Great point.
That shit is whack to me. Like, stop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, don't bring that up. Oh, he's white, mom's white. Who cares? You was doing music with him before.
Mm-hmm.
He was good enough to do music at that time. Now you bringing up, oh, you ain't never been black. Like, those things to me seems like it's fake. That means that they really, and you know what it is when you could work with somebody and you get into an argument and then they start bringing up shit that you never like. Oh, you really felt that way?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what this is to me right now. It's
Yeah.
not even competition no
Yeah.
more. It's like they're really like K-Dot and Rick Ross and them are really saying things about him like they really felt that they never said. But you working with him?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
To me, that's why I'm like, this
I
shit
see
is
what your
whack.
point. Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm like, I'm glad J. Cole just was like, nah, I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because honestly, like I'm one of the few people that thought that like it wasn't a sucker move that he said, you know what, I'm just gonna bow out. I wouldn't have deleted my song, but I would just left it like, yo, I'm not gonna reply whatever he say, but I gracefully bow out. I got my song, he got his song. I said what I said, he said what he said, but at the same time, like this is
subscribe,
kind of whack. And so I get that. I get that. But I
Mhm.
do like the competition aspect of it if it
Right.
wasn't so because it's kind of getting petty, right?
It is.
So if it wasn't petty and it was just based off skill, I still love the competition aspect of it.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, it's like it's seeming like it's getting petty. So I get that aspect of J. Cole or any of these guys if they choose to bow out if it gets petty instead of really standing on a real beef that you done had with this person. Because
Right.
it's fake when you work with somebody and then you flourish with somebody on top of that, and then you come back and be like, yeah, well, I always felt like
Right.
this about you.
Right.
Like so and for people that don't know, if you never grew up in New York, you could have a friend in school and you could tell him or tell her something, and then when y'all not
Mhm.
cool no more, then all your
Right.
stuff come out that you ever told this
Yeah.
person, which is super whack. That means you
And
never.
that's people in general, you know.
Yeah.
That's people in general. But you know, is because Rick Ross and freaking Drake made mad music together, bro. Like
Yes.
even Kendrick made music with Drake. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like,
Hmm.
and not really Kendrick and Drake because they made like one song. You know what I mean? Like,
But it was a hit
but
though.
like
It was a
it
hit
was a
though.
hit. Nah,
Yeah.
it was a dope song. But I really mean like Rick Ross.
Yeah.
Like I just wasn't feeling this shit. Like I like Rick Ross. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I just wasn't feeling that the dissing because I'm just like it just makes everything y'all did before that seem like it was just done because he was in the studio.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You
Hmm.
understand? Because like
Hmm.
if you're gonna go to make a song with somebody, that means y'all had to have some type of relationship or something, some type of bonding moment to create music, right? Like
Hmm.
to to the level that they did. They made mad amazing music, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you made amazing music with this guy.
Hmm.
Now you had a problem that he was half white all this time. You
Hmm.
just never said nothing.
Hmm. Yeah.
You like he had beef
Yeah.
with Meek Mill. You just never said nothing.
Yeah.
It's like you were just holding on to all of this shit to say it now. Like you
Yeah.
understand? So that to me, I don't like it. Right? Like
I
I don't like it.
I get I
I
get
think yeah.
now I get exactly what, like I said, I get exactly what you're saying because again, you could play a playlist of just Drake and Rick Ross on the same songs and they tough
Hmm.
songs. So
Right.
again, everything was all good. Y'all done did music videos and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So y'all smashed some of the same chicks. Let's keep it a buck.
Right.
So now he not valid. So I get that aspect of
Right,
it.
and I think they arguing over some chicks or something. I don't even know. I try not to be involved with all of that, man. Like
Yeah.
I just be like, yo, for the music part. So that's why like for me, for the Chris Brown and Quavo, I like their battle more
Yeah.
because I don't really think they really rock with each other
Yeah.
like that. It
Yeah.
was never really like, oh, I rock with Quavo and it went south to now I'ma diss you. I think they legitimately have beat. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's why to me, the Chris Brown record sounds more like a real diss song. And
Yeah.
I mean, the Quavo, I'm not even gonna lie, the Quavo reply with Takeoff on it,
Yeah.
this shit is hard, yo. You know what I'm saying? It sounds dope. But I'm like, you kind of just actually did what Chris Brown said. You ain't nothing without Takeoff. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah,
But it's a dope,
yeah.
hook, man. I like it. It sounds musical.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds
Mm-hmm.
like something I can listen to, you know, and I don't know.
I try to tell people because I remember this thing when I first started around '07 and '08, and people used to say this term that used to piss me off. They say, yo, when you make it, don't forget about me. Right? So at like, and I say this to say going through the music industry, you realize it's not a real place, right? But because you're not like on TV every day, famous. That when you say it, it comes from they people take it from a place because you're not at that certain level, right? But there's a
Mm,
price to pay to be at a certain level, right? There's a certain
mm,
you got to surround yourself with, and there's a certain price to pay to be on that level. To be on that level, it doesn't even take talent like
mm,
how we grew up thinking like, yo, you have to be the dopest and whatever that you do to even get that attention. The music business, it doesn't work that way. It's either
right.
you got connections and you get
Mm,
engulfed with the right people, or
right.
you pay your way. And if you pay your way, then yeah, now you could walk into them rooms and have those conversations with people who are
Mm,
button pushers, who are
yeah.
program directors, who are producers and executive VPs, and is really knowing the right people and being at the right place at the right
Right
time.
place at the right time.
And if you pay your way, you can find your way, right? So when I tell people this, they think, especially before, they used to think I was bugging. So I really had a clarity moment where I felt like I started getting like success in the game. And then financially, I start seeing some of my fruits of my labor. So now
Mm,
I say to myself, like, all right, I'm gonna go get me a rollie. Oh yeah, get me a
mm,
rollie. Oh yeah, I'm gonna kill it now. Go
mm,
get me a rollie. I'm like, oh yeah, when they see this, I'm gonna kill them, right?
mm,
Got another bag. Oh, I'm gonna go get me another rollie. So this one gonna be my everyday rollie, and this one gonna be when I go to the party, I'm gonna
mm,
shut it down, right?
right.
So now I'm going into these rooms because I'm paying my way through the business. Again, what I mean
Right.
for the y'all that don't know, what I mean by pay your way, I come through as a business instead of an artist. So now I'm
Right.
coming through as at that time was Rollistic Records, High Roller Music. I'm coming as a corporation. I have me, I have artists, I have executive producers, I got DJs, they know me. So what do I have to do to make sure my stuff get programmed at the right time, just like
Mm,
any other record company does? And that's
right.
how I had to make my way. So now when I'm walking to these rooms, instead of walking with one rollie, I'm gonna wear both of mine. Yeah, they gonna see this
Mm,
shit today. Woo, it's gonna be cracking. So I get up in there, I got my jewelry on, got my rollies on, and like, yeah, I got my peoples with me. Like, yeah, it's about to get popping. And when I get up in there, I'm the only one with actually like real jewelry. That's the first thing I noticed. Second thing I noticed, the people that they had with them, they not really with them. It's just a part of their corporate arrangement. Meaning, if that person was on, I'm not trying
mm,
to call no labels out. I'm just using that as
right.
an if they on Electra, people that don't know is Electra at the time. There's a RCA. If they on those labels, they have people who are obligated to be in those artists' corner, talking for them as a company, like how I'm talking for mine.
Mm,
They don't really rock with them, but my people rock with me. So that's the second thing I noticed,
so it's fake, but it's
right?
business.
And then the third thing I noticed is the the I'm trying to put it in best words. I'm getting stumped a little bit, but as like these companies have a long lasting relationship with other companies. So it ain't nothing but a phone call. Be like, yo, I got my guy coming through. He got
Mm,
a little money for y'all. We're gonna play this record, or we're gonna get these pictures done. So their relationships was been more long lasting than I'm just coming in and I'm realizing that my bag is not as big as these companies.
Right.
No matter whether I went to go buy the rollies or not, my bag, I don't have $1 million. So I can't do what these other companies can do. At
Yeah, they playing from the long money game.
right, right, and then $1 million for these companies is a drop in a bucket because it's just the cost of doing business because they have this artist coming through, that artist coming through. Just like you said, it's a long game, and their money on the back end and how to get money is something that I was learning at the time that they already had that information.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
now all this is hitting me. So I'm like, yo, none of this shit really matters. All this shit is a facade. All this stuff is like, yo, the whole purpose is to show the image, have a great song, and for people to profit off of this. But if people
Mhm.
think because who you are, everything you got on, they gonna think it's real. But you didn't
Right.
pay $1,200 for everything, right? I'm keeping it a buck, right?
Maybe less than that.
Maybe less than that, right? But because who they are, they get to have that on and get the benefit of getting all their money and using their money for real things. So what I
Yeah.
realized, the industry is not a real place where if you're uberly talented, like how sports is, when you're uberly talented, you elevate because you're talented, right? Especially at that time. But in the music game, is you're not elevating because of your talents.
Right. It's
You
about who you know.
right. So that's something I had to learn, and then so now when people they coming to me about information about the game, how they should move, and when I give it to them straight, they be like, "You sure, bro?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's how this is what you should do because if you don't have the bag, if you don't have the bag,
Mhm.
you could kiss it goodbye, bro, because
Right.
you're not paying your way. You know how many outstanding people who are talented, like when I again, not trying to again. The first time I went down to Def Jam, there was people in front of Def Jam that was ready to rap, ready to sing for people walking out that building. A lot of people don't know. A lot of those labels was in the same building. So when
Yeah.
I first seen Harvey Pierre that worked for Bad Boy at the time, he
Mhm.
walking out the building and he had 3 people mob him. And they was like, "Yeah, that's the dude from Bad Boy." I said, "Yeah, I seen him on the Making the Band stuff. Yeah, I know that is." You know what I'm saying? But for me, it was a little different for me. But realizing that it's like, yo, I really thought the music game was this. So the music business and the game is two different things.
Right.
And it's very illusionary based.
Right.
Uh, what would you tell to somebody if they want to get into the music business? Like you explained what a new DJ would do, but somebody that wanted to get into the music business.
At this point, you probably got to have besides besides some talent, you got to have a little bit of money because you got to put some money behind your music, right? Because like payola is a real thing, right? Regardless if some DJs choose they take it or not,
Mm-hmm.
you got your music got to sound good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your music for some DJs they're not playing your song unless you're paying them,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to have money to put behind your music. So the first thing you got to have is, and that's not even just to pay the DJ.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have money to promote your song. Because if
Yes.
you could take your song and put it on YouTube, what that mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like unless somebody hear it or somebody pushes it or lucky it fall on TikTok and then
Mm-hmm.
it picks up. But you got to have some money. So have somebody or somebody who's willing to invest in you. It's kind of like buying. Like I'm not an A&R or anything like. I know a little bit about the music business, but I know like a record deal is like you got to have some money to get a record deal, bro. So you
Yes.
can actually push your record.
Yes.
You can't just go as like taking a loan. You can take a loan from the bank just like you're gonna buy a car or buy a
Yes.
house. Take a loan from the bank and take it and put it behind your music. That's how you're gonna get heard. You know, so I would think that would be like one of the steps that I would tell somebody who actually is in the business of making music or want to become an artist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, actually putting some money behind their music.
Mm-hmm. And that's a great point, because a lot of these artists, like, one thing about being an artist today that I do love way more than about what I seen from the artists or learning about the artists in the 90s, we're able to get to the bag much faster.
Mm-hmm.
The availability of the money is much faster, and you don't have, like, there's people that are uh I don't want to say TikTok famous, but they went platinum off of TikTok, and you don't know who they, you never heard of their music before, or you heard like the same few bars from the music, and that's it, but
Mm-hmm.
they've been able to be successful and get their money financially without being famous, without having the name, like it was one girl, I think something Banks, I can't remember her first name, but she had,
Erica Banks.
say it again.
Erica Banks.
Erica Banks. Erica Banks.
She's from Texas.
And she had the sound on TikTok, and that went crazy. But I had never seen her face before.
Mm.
But because it went so crazy on TikTok, she was able to do what she could do and come into the game
Subscribe.
from a place of power, meaning like,
Right.
yo, my song is here on TikTok, or my song is here on YouTube, and it's getting love. So now I
Right.
go back into the label and say, yo, I'm doing this on my own. If we partner up and do this, then I think we could do that, and then now you don't get a shitty deal.
Right.
Um, but I like that aspect of today, is the fact that we could get to the bag much faster than the artists from the 80s and obviously the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
when you hear stuff like somebody as iconic as Tupac, even though as I got older, I realized, as iconic as Tupac was, there's some chinks in his armor, but that's a whole nother story, right? For me,
Mm-hmm.
right? But he's still iconic. He still changed the game. He still left his imprint on the game, where to the point where he didn't own anything when he died.
Right.
Didn't own anything substantial that he could leave behind to his mom, because his mom had to fight for a lot of his monies
Yeah.
and things like
Right.
that. He didn't even get the full brunt of it,
Yeah.
So
He didn't even get. Supposedly he ain't had no money.
right. Right. And,
Mm-hmm.
and 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 we're talking about Tupac. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he's he's what the industry, anybody that's an artist, want his level of success when it comes to selling records, popularity, not the
Mm-hmm.
infamous things, but all the positive things that he was able to
Right. Movies. Stuff
movie.
that those.
Right.
Right.
So to see somebody like that unfortunately die basically with nothing, are artists of today, that's not going to be their story for the most part,
Right.
because there's a way to get that money without having to depend on a company to say, here's your money, but we have to recoup. Like, so it's just a little different than it was
Yeah.
before. So I like that.
Yeah. The terms are different now.
Right. So I like that aspect of it. What do you want to see out of today's hip hop that you haven't seen in a while, or that you haven't seen at all?
I feel like it's getting a little bit better, but I feel like I want the music to lighten up a little bit, not be so dark, especially like with hip hop trap music.
Mhm.
It's a little dark. It's kind of like more of like you can't really party to it.
Deaf music.
Yeah, you can't really party to it. You know what I'm saying? It's more of like it's kind of like it's like death.
Mm-hmm.
It's very dark. It's not bright. It's not like think about it. I'm not even go back to the 90s. Think about early 2000s,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're talking about the South.
Mm-hmm.
The music was just more live. It's popping.
Yeah.
Like, yo, we're
Yeah.
gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
We're gonna go party. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? The beats was crazy. The bass lines was hard. We had 808s. We had all of that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Even, New York style was different. We had Dipset. We had G Unit,
Mm-hmm.
but a little before that we had Ja Rule. Like the music was still a vibe to
Yeah.
listen to, where you could like New York, we bop.
Yeah.
We don't really do all of that Running Man and all that back in the days, but like early
Right.
2000s vibe,
We
we
bop.
bop and we have
Yeah.
a good time, right?
Yeah.
But the music wasn't so dark and deadly. I feel like today it's kind of dark, right? It's getting a little bit better. I think
Mm-hmm.
like a year or two ago was even worse. It's getting a little bit better, I guess, because of like twerking and all that, sexy red and all that. Girls is moving their bodies and stuff. But I would like the music to be much more lively, party vibe. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can't really party to hip hop.
Yeah.
It's like standing around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's standing around, everybody looking. Nobody want to loosen up and have a good time. That's
Mm-hmm.
why Afro beats and all those parties and those types of vibe be having people moving.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's feel good music.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. We're I agree with you. We're in the midst, in the throes. I don't know if it's going to end anytime soon, but we're definitely in the midst of death in stripper culture music right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we in there, and then it's like the Matrix where they loading up with more of
Right.
the same type of artists. And not to say there's not a place for it, but it shouldn't be all of the music, if that
Right.
makes sense.
It
You
shouldn't
know?
be It shouldn't be mainstream. It shouldn't be. That's everything.
Right,
Everything don't need to be that one way.
right,
You have different avenues of it. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
it all don't need to be one.
I know this sounds very old, but I remember there was a time where Tupac, Biggie, Heavy D, and I'm listing these artists on purpose. Heavy D, I was gonna say Big Daddy Kane. He was already kind of like, I don't want to say fading out, but I'll say Mace Locks, um,
I
and
already know where you're going with it.
I would say um, Q-Tip, all existed in the same, and Busta Rhymes all existed in the same era. You could listen to the radio and you would hear their songs, and they're all different, but you
Mm-hmm.
got a different thing, and we was partying to it, we was boogieing to it, but they all existed in the same universe.
Right. You don't have that now.
Right. And I think there's artists out there that have the good vibe. Like me personally, if y'all listen, the people that listen to my music, I
Mm-hmm.
don't rap about death. I really celebrate life culture. That's my thing, life culture.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so when most people say, "Yo, who's your comp?" Like who's like somebody to compare to? I don't really believe I have somebody that's comparable to me in today's music because
Mm-hmm.
I'm very versatile. But the point I'm making is that there is an agenda on death and stripper music, strip culture music.
Mm-hmm.
So that and you have artists that do bring that balance, but they don't get the pub. Like I'm a big fan of JID. He doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
to me, get the same type of plays as other artists, and some of the other artists. Again, I'm not trying to diss nobody.
They ain't even on his level.
They not on his level.
And that's
So
by design.
right,
It's by design. I know exactly what you're talking about. Because like I love music, bro. Do I listen to music in the house with my kids? No.
hmm hmm
I don't. I don't really listen to it like that.
hmm
Cause I already know like the majority, especially like on the radio, like if I'm driving in the car with the kids, like I'll probably put something on that I played you know, or some R&B or something. And even with R&B, you gotta be careful with that too, right? Because it's so over sexually hyped music, in R&B, it's so direct.
hmm
It's not even subliminal no more. You
right,
know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
even when we listen to like some R. Kelly stuff, like right, yeah, we all love R. Kelly, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I just did a private party a week ago, 60th birthday party.
hmm
They was like, yo, it's from my dad or my uncle, and they was like, yo, his favorite artist is R. Kelly. Make sure
yeah,
you play R. Kelly, R.
yeah,
Kelly and Prince. And I'm like, I'm playing the music, and I'm like, yo, this nigga R. Kelly is the man. Like, yo, this shit is crazy.
yeah,
And what
yeah,
he talking about, is like he talking about making love to women and all that, you know, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just so subtle the way he's saying certain
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's not like he's just, oh, I'm gonna rip your panties off.
yeah,
In the
yeah,
R&B today, it's like they too direct, bro.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? There's no type of caressing going on.
yeah.
You know, so and it's the same thing with hip hop, right? They're like, yeah, we always had vulgar lyrics in hip hop. I'm gonna put it in your mouth, you know, like, you know what I mean, stuff like that. But those weren't the norm. That wasn't
Right.
being played on the radio to the masses all the time. That was played in the club.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You listen to radio, and the problem with that, like what you were saying, is like with the JID stuff, is like like JID is different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the whole Dreamville camp is different. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Then you
subscribe,
listen to like trap music. No disrespect to any of these artists or anything, but if someone was to walk in a club who don't really know these artists by name, they wouldn't be able to decipher who's what,
Right. Yes.
because it all sounds the same.
Yes.
You could pretty much mix anything with anything.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't mix like Dipset sound different from G Unit. G
Yes.
Unit sound different from DMX. Jay
Yes.
Z sound different from DMX.
Yes.
Mob Deep sound different from them. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
Even Ti sounded different from Jeezy.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Even if you take Ludacris, sound different from all three of them.
Yes.
You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though they from the same region,
Mm-hmm.
the music was just different. You know,
Mm-hmm.
everybody was okay, or the labels was okay with everybody coming being themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Today it ain't like that. You
Mm-hmm.
need to sound like this, or we not your song ain't playing.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna go to this producer. I need that shit that you gave the baby,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the baby got this beat and Lil Baby got another shit that sound like that. Moneybag Yo, now D-Lo the man, he got something sexy. I need to
Yeah.
fit in that bag.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So
See,
that's
and
where
then
we at.
again, my bad. Go ahead. My bad.
No, I was saying that's where we at.
So I hate to go back to the 2000 eras, but it's so prevalent. So
I'm listening, I'm answering a text.
yeah. So it's just so prevalent that you have somebody like Timbaland, and he has a crew. He has Aaliyah. He has Missy Elliott. He has Genuine. Uh,
Mhm.
he has Magoo. So the
Right.
point, and he still made beats for other people. So when the
Mhm.
people came to Timbaland for that Timbaland, but it still had to sound like the artist. So Jay-Z, again, Jay-Z. When Jay-Z go to Timbaland and get a beat, you know it's a Timbaland beat, but you know it's for Jay-Z. That
Mhm.
is not for Missy. That song is
Right.
not for Magoo. This song is
Right.
not for any other artist that Timbaland works with in the rap game. This is Tim. You know it's Timbaland because of the type of
Mhm.
instruments that he's using, but in his patterns. But you know it's a Jay-Z song, if that makes sense.
Or you know that even though you know it's Timbaland who made the beat
subscribe,
just sounds. It doesn't sound like the song he gave Missy.
Right,
You
right.
know, it sounds like someone. It sounds like another. It's totally different. You know, it doesn't. It doesn't need to be exactly like, I'm not gonna give you the same beat that I gave Jay Z, because I
Right.
need them to sound different and coexist together but separate.
Yes, yes. So I definitely agree with that. Um, who are some of your biggest influences as a DJ throughout your career and overall?
Um, a lot of DJs, man. First, I would say like my brother. He was like the first who, my brother Patrick. You know, he was
Mm-hmm.
the first one to actually like, I seen like mixing and be like, yo, this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but Funk Flex, Mr. C, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Um, did parties with Mr. C.
Mm-hmm. Used to come to Temptations back in the day.
Facts all the time. The guy's
Yeah,
crazy, you know what I
yeah,
mean? But
yeah.
Mr. C was one of them. Jazzy Jeff, of course. Jazzy Jeff is probably, I wouldn't say my favorite, but he's up there as one of my favorites. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
bad DJ. No,
Yeah,
you can't fuck with him, bro.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
He's serious. I seen him play in
D,
person.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like
yeah,
he's an animal, man.
yeah.
DJ Enough, DJ Camilo, Cash One, also Babyface from King Addies back in the days. I used to listen to a lot of Sound Clash.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite DJs. Yeah, it's a lot, man. Like, is more, bro. Like, but
Yeah.
those are some of the DJs that I looked up to as like, yo, they made me want to be a DJ or made me want to be a better DJ because they
Yeah.
was doing some unbelievable shit. Like,
That's all right. So two quick segues. Brooklyn alumni.
mhm.
How did that start?
I always wanted to start a brand. So Brooklyn Alumni is my brand that me and my wife own. It's a t-shirt line. We have hoodies and sweaters and stuff like that too. Um, we I wanted to start another line, but when I left Brooklyn, we kind of came up with the concept like, yo, because we live in Charlotte and we always meet people from Brooklyn everywhere we go.
Yeah.
So we're like, yo, damn, like how can we come up with something that we could honor people who are from Brooklyn but probably live in another state or
Yeah.
another city or whatever. So the concept came up of Brooklyn alumni, kind of like college. You know, you go to college and you move on, but you're still an alumni of that college. So that was our concept on how we came up with that brand to honor people who are from Brooklyn who probably don't live in Brooklyn, but definitely people who live in Brooklyn you could rock it or whatever like that. But I didn't even think to wear the shirt today.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the concept, you know, to honor people who are from Brooklyn, whether you live any part of the world, or even if you're not from Brooklyn, you just want to be a part of it because people love Brooklyn culture, right?
Mhm.
So you could wear a Brooklyn alumni shirt, you know, and just represent. So that's how we came up with that.
Fire name, by the way. Fire
Yeah,
name.
thank you.
And it's perfect because, like you said, you could be anywhere in the world, but if you have that shirt,
Hmm.
it just, it represents the town. So
Yeah, bro, and went through a lot to like, yo, bro, like went through a lot for trademarks and all that, man. Like, yo, that business behind the scenes ain't no joke.
yeah,
You know, had some people try to take it. You know what I'm saying? I had to
yeah,
pay money, lawyer, and all that to because you know sometimes when you create something, some people see it and they be like, nah, they want that. You know,
yeah,
they try to take it, but nah, I
yeah,
came up with that concept. So, you
yeah.
know, had to pay to get it trademarked and all that. So we good
Mhm.
with all of that. So now we about to start really flooding and putting it back out on the street.
That's lit. That's lit. When I
Hmm.
seen that, I was like, oh, they got a lick
Yeah.
on. That was like, that's to me, I think that's a fire concept. And, honestly, I hope that y'all continue to flood. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to support. But it was,
Thank you, bro.
I seen it, I was like, oh, that is perfect. That's like the perfect name for just, like I said before, not to regurgitate, but I'm like, damn,
Hmm.
the perfect name for what they're doing with
Yeah.
that line. So that's lit. Um, my last segue is today's NBA. You're a big sports guy. You're a big basketball guy. Because and the reason why I have to ask you in particular because I always find like people that don't know. Again, you know what I'm saying? I always find myself in a minority when I talk about sports because when I say thing about sports, especially in basketball, I don't say it hoping that
Subscribe.
people are going to agree with me.
Hmm.
I say it because that's what's going on. So,
Yeah.
what do you think about today's game in the NBA? That we have right now.
Are you talking about talent or are you talking about,
Don't,
you got to
don't,
be more specific?
all right. So, all right. To make it more specific is the talent in today's NBA.
I think the talent is good. I think these guys is nice, bro. I think they're really good. I'm not comparing them to who we watched growing up, right? And the game has evolved, right? It's like I'm gonna give you an example with the technology and the stuff that you started making music with is different from what you got now, right? So you use it to the best to make the best song, right? Same thing with DJing. I use the technology to be a better DJ. Same thing. They use the technology of watching tapes and stuff and doctors to be a better basketball player.
Hmm.
They have that in their pocket.
Hmm.
but I don't think they're better. I don't think they're necessarily better than the guys that played in the 90s, right? Because we had some that like people make it seem like they're doing something that guys in the 90s weren't doing. And to me, that just shows that you uneducated when it comes to basketball, right? I'm 44. I've been watching basketball since I was like 5, 6 years old, bro. So I'm talking about in the 80s, right? So seen Magic Johnson. You know what I mean? I seen Penny Hardaway. Like, don't tell me we ain't never had a 6'9" fucking point guard before.
Right.
Who's running fast down the, like we had that shit. Like nigga, like have you ever seen Penny? You ever seen Tracy McGrady? You ever seen Kobe? Like, you know what I mean? You ever seen Nick Van Exel? You ever seen what's the other Chris Jackson? You know, before he changed his name to Abdul Rahim or whatever, he changed his name. No disrespect to him, but I can't remember his full name. That was Curry before Curry.
Cooking.
You understand? So like, they make it seem like we never seen this before. We've seen it before. We've had it. These guys just dope in the league back in the days. Mitch Richmond could shoot the lights out, you know. But I still think the talent of today is amazing. The direction of the NBA is a whole nother thing. I'm not really feeling the direction of it. I'm not feeling the job that Adam Silver's doing. I think, I'm not saying he's doing a bad job, but I think he could do. There's some things that I would change if it was up to me.
Yeah. And what are some of those things would be, if you elaborate?
Number one, they need to fix the referees. Referees is too inconsistent, right? Referees don't need to dictate the game. Let them be a little bit physical, but you don't need to throw niggas out for an elbow to, like, everything is in a flagrant, bro.
Right. Everything's not egregious.
Everything's not egregious. Everything don't need to be reviewed. You're slowing the game down. You giving guys timeouts without even calling a timeout. You breaking the momentum of the game. Those are important things of the game when you're playing basketball. On top of that, I think personally they need to get rid of the play-in.
You're not a fan of the play-in?
I like that the play-in, when they get to the play-in, they're playing because they need to win to play and get in the playoffs.
Right.
But I think you're rewarding bad basketball teams all year.
Right.
So if you could play bad basketball all year, like say for instance the Lakers, the Lakers ain't been good all year.
Right. They have.
So why do you think they're gonna be good now in the playoffs? And they got to play Denver. So now you could go in as a 10th seed or the 9th seed and get a chance to play. That's bullshit to me.
I mean, last year it obviously it benefited Miami. You know, they went through the play and beat everybody.
But look, think about that, right? I'm a number 1 seed. Now, you got a team that's a 10th or 9th seed that beat a 7 or 8 seed because they got hot for 2-3 games and now they're in the playoffs. Now, Miami Heat was a good team. They really wasn't a 9th or 10th seed team. They were a good team. They just had a lot of problems throughout the year. But whose fault is that? That's their fault, right? They just happened to be really good and make it to the finals because they stretched together a good 2-3 weeks of basketball, which is great for the aspect of the game. But at the same time, that's not going to happen many times. You really rewarding bad basketball teams for all year to still play mediocre basketball and still have an opportunity to get in.
Yeah.
That's the point I don't like about it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Not to say that I don't think they need to deserve it. Yo, bro.
Subscribe.
Put it back to the 8.
Yeah.
8 and 8. That's it. 8 and 8. Or if you really want to get gangster with it, be like, you got to win at least 46 games to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's going to be a stretch for a lot of these teams.
But look at it, though. Think about it. You got teams making a play-in tournament who won 39 games, who won 35 games.
Yeah. Got losing records. Yeah.
Got losing records, right?
Yeah.
So now, if you're going to have the play-in, then make it some stipulations where, okay, the last 4 teams who make it to the if you're only going to take 6, the last 4, then you break it down to record. If you got whoever got the better record, you get in.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, there's no play-in. Now you become the 7th and 8th seed.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You take your top 6,
Yeah.
but then the last 4, whoever got the best record at the end of 82 games, they get the 7th and 8th seed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's simply the same way as, just taking the top 8. But
right. Instead of the
you
10.
know,
Yeah.
instead of the 10, because
Yeah.
now you're giving a 10 an opportunity to beat 7 or 8. And
Yeah.
7 and 8 really could have good records.
Mm-hmm.
So if I won 45 games, right, and you won 38 and 35, and you 10 seeded, you beat me in 2 games, does that really mean you're a better team than me?
Nah, it's like the NCAA tournament. You
Right,
play
but
the one game and you get hot.
you get hot. But NCAA tournament is a little different, right? Because now you really don't got home court advantage. They really just shuffling everybody up and boom,
Right. True.
go play.
True.
So there's no advantage to that. You like if you're a good team, you're gonna get in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely, they only really give. Now they got 68.
Yeah.
Where those other 4.
Yeah, they're gonna add. They said they're gonna expand it, which is crazy to me. But I get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, what do you think about the in-season tournament?
I don't know what's the point of it. Again, Lakers won, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got bounced first round.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you?
Yeah.
Is something ain't right? Is that what is it? Is the in-season tournament bullcrap? I mean, they were playing good basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that is bad. I'm saying from the perspective of them trying to. And the problem is, these guys in the league today are too friendly. That's why they got to create that.
I say that all the time.
They got to create that
Mm-hmm.
to try to create some type of competitive nature.
Mm-hmm.
This league is too friendly. I'm not gonna say why.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It's too friendly, bro. Like,
yeah.
So they create the in-season tournament, which is good for competitive nature. But at the end of the day, it's a fluke because it's like Lakers won the in-season tournament, got bounced first round. But this is the same team that y'all said wasn't good enough the year before that got swept in the first round. But
Mm-hmm.
they win in the in-season tournament the next season, this season, and then lose in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? You understand? Like, where's the disconnect? Is the in-season tournament a fluke, or are the Lakers a fluke? Which one is it?
Yeah.
It got to be one of the two.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I understand the concept of them getting them to play hard, and that's probably what it is. Trying to raise ratings, and they trying to compete with the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're trying to compete with them. It's a total different game, like different fans.
Yeah, and I said this to one of my boys the other day because he loves basketball like how I love basketball, but I said football is better than basketball. And he said, "What make you say that?" I said, "Because in football, like when you wear a jersey and you wear a certain color,
subscribe.
And when you see the other team, like nigga, it's up. Like I don't gotta dap you. I don't like when we get on this field, I'm gonna smack your helmet on the other side, bro. When I see you in the off season, it's gonna be a little love. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be cool. It's gonna be cordial, but it's up. Like, okay, if you wear a Dallas Cowboy uniform and you wear a Redskin jersey, I'm gonna call them Redskins still to this day. If you wear a Giants uniform or a Philly uniform, it's up. Like
it's competitive. The thing is, football is a more violent sport.
Mm-hmm.
I like football, right? We played, right?
Yeah.
We played, like, and I mean, not just like I ain't played high school football. My team ain't had no high school football team, but I played Kings Bay. Guys played Skyhawks, or you know what I mean, Linvet, whatever Rams, Linvet Rams, or whatever with pads.
Yeah.
So I know what it is to play football, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a different level of mental fuck shit I'm doing. Like I don't care. I'm gonna kill you on this field. You understand? I'm trying to hit you hard. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a different thing. Basketball, used to be that way, but not with the violence. It did have violence in the 80s and the 90s where guys would hit you hard, but it was more of competitive. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, now I'm gonna bust your ass.
Yeah,
You get on this court, is
yeah,
up, me and you.
yeah,
That is gone from the NBA. It's
yeah.
starting to come back. Anthony Edwards is doing it.
Yes,
That's
yes,
why I love him,
yeah,
bro. He's like my favorite player.
yes,
You know
yes,
what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
he's like, yo, I'm a KD. He's like KD, my favorite player, but it's up.
yeah.
He got that Kobe Jordan. Like I think that's Jordan's son, bro.
Yo, bro, bro. They did the face to face. I was like, yo, I don't
Yo,
know, I don't
they
know,
need to DNA test him, bro.
yo,
Like
I don't
I
know.
watch him on the court. I'm like, yo, he like, and I've been saying this all for the past like 2 years. I've been telling them, I'm like, yo, he moved like Jordan, yo.
He does, he
He
does.
moves like Jordan on the court. Like
Yes.
his fundamentals, the way he jab step and go to the hoop with a vengeance. Like
Mm-hmm.
he attacks the basket. Like I'm like, yo, I love this.
Yeah,
I love watching him play, bro.
yeah. And
So
pause. He's built like a damn linebacker. He's not
yeah,
the sleek. Normally when guys are like 6'6", 6'7", they
yeah,
more like sleek. You
skinny
know,
like KD and shit.
yeah, yeah. But he got a little, built to him, and
And he
he,
gonna get stronger.
yeah, he uses it to his advantage. But I'm of the belief that basketball can be competitive and it could be up without being violent. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, I don't like when we on the court, like I'm a bust your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'm not dapping you up, but when
Right.
we get off the court, like that's off the court. You know what I'm saying? But on
Right.
here, I can't do business. So I think basketball could be at that essence. Like, I mean, again, I hate to go back. Like one of my best friends in the world, you know this man, Bobby Ransom. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
And this man was nasty in football. And
hmm
I never forget this. We was in high school. We doing half line. But they put me on defense at outside linebacker and they put him at running back, right?
hmm
They ran the toss. So
Coming your way.
my receiver that came to block me, guy, get out of here, guy. So
hmm
I swapped him up. I'm not saying this to brag, but it ended bad for your mans, right? So now when Bobby gets the toss, we make eye contact through the helmets, we're gonna get this popping, right? Like we gotta get this popping. Like we saying, so like, all right, for those who don't understand, when you play sports, and for at least for me, the game it looks fast, but it's slow for me. So
hmm
when he got that toss and he's turning that corner, I killed the slot that was trying to block me. So now we making eye contact. I'm like, yo, we gotta get this in. So you know what I'm
hmm
saying. So I get ready and I attack his ass. I'm trying to, I'm trying to, I'm trying to body my brother.
Trying to put him in the turf.
What? But
subscribe,
Bobby was like, yeah, nah, hit me with a hit, and he hit me so hard and quick pause that I literally stopped because I broke down, but I stopped because I'm thinking he's going to try to truck me. You know what I'm saying? So later
Mm.
on, he laughed about it on the block, like, yo, I trucked ass. Nah, that's not happening. So when I went to, like, go to hit him, he hit
Hit
me
him.
quick and hard. And he used to be able to cut at full speed.
Change directions, mad fast.
At full, he don't decelerate at when he shakes. So when he
He was
shook
on
me,
some Barry Sanders shit.
yeah, like
hmm
literally. So when he shook me, I was like, damn, I was froze, and he just
hmm
kept going, right? So
Yeah.
now in film room, so the coach was like, yeah, so this guy's supposed to be an all city player. Look at this dumbass, like, and he's talking about me, and they kept rewinding, like, yeah, good job, Bobby. And I just stuck. And he like, yeah, this dumbass again. So that was the type of like thing, like even though
hmm
this is like one of my best friends in the world, I'm trying to like really light his world up, and then off
Right.
the field, that's my guy. But
Yeah.
I think you could still
That
be,
competitive nature was there.
yeah, same thing with basketball. So that's what I believe. So um, I had this conversation with one of my other boys the other day. So I was trying to tell him, because I've seen basketball for so long, the basketball that we see now is not going to be the same in 4 years. Meaning,
Right.
like, there's going to be different guys. So the guy who's going to run the lead is not in the lead yet, in my opinion. He was like, "What makes you think that?" I mean, look at Wemby. I said Wemby is nice. I was one of very few people that said that Wemby was going to be nice when he came into the league, and people that wasn't they didn't like his performances. But I see his skill level. I was like, he's too skilled, and he's at San Antonio, a place that's properly going to continue to develop him. So he's going to be all right. Anthony Edwards is phenomenal. I don't think nobody could roll with Zion when he's healthy. Me personally, I think Zion is a cheat code. But those guys are, to me, the Allen Iversons, the Dwayne Wades, the Carmelo Anthonys, the Tracy McGrady's, great guys who are amazing players who have the ability to be top. They're already top tier players, and they Hall of Fame players, but they not the main guy like Jordan, LeBron, Magic. We don't. That guy is still in high school, and he like, nah, bro, nah. I said it happens every generation. When I seen Iverson,
I don't know.
when I seen Allen Iverson, Ray Allen, Kerry Kittles, Marcus Camby, Kobe, Antoine Walker, I thought that was like, yo. But what people don't realize, the best player in that draft turned out to be Kobe. But Kobe wasn't drafted number one. Kobe, I believe, went like either 8 or like 13. So you had Ray Allen go before him. You had Kerry Kittles go before him. You had
Kerry
a
Kittles
slew
was serious in college, though, bro.
right. You know what I'm saying? But you had a slew of guys at that time that was uberly nice. And I think these guys are uberly nice. But that one, though, he's still somewhere in high school, in my opinion. It's my opinion.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I see where you're going, but I'm gonna say this right to that fact. I think Jordan, right? I think Jordan's the greatest player of all time, right?
Me,
I think it's night and day
yeah, me
between
too.
Jordan and LeBron.
Me
I don't
too.
even I don't even think LeBron is close to Jordan, right?
Me,
It's not a shot on Brown,
right. Absolutely.
but I think like because of the LeBron effect that he was drafted number one and the perspective of he's gonna be the greatest, he's gonna be a great player. The longevity push was there behind him,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think Braun is a really, really good player. He's great. But when it comes to, I'm trying to make a point here.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to his basketball, people probably think I'm crazy.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to his basketball skill and talent, he's really, really good. But he doesn't do anything to me that's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That makes me be like, yo, how the fuck did he do that?
Yeah.
I get that from Jordan. I get
Yeah.
that from Kobe.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that from Braun.
Mm-hmm.
Braun is just a really well polished, good basketball player
Yeah.
in every every
Yeah.
aspect of the game.
Yeah. Yes.
Which
Yeah.
to his advantage is amazing.
Yes.
Right? But
Yes.
like Jordan was a freak of nature with athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
He could fucking jump mad high.
Mm-hmm.
When he jumping super high and fading away on a jump shot.
Yeah.
You can't block that shit, bro. That's
Yeah.
he's doing air reverses.
Yeah. Yeah.
We go into the park to try to do that because this is unbelievable. I'm watching Jordan because I'm like, he's gonna do some crazy shit in the game that you can't believe.
Yeah.
You understand? Same thing with Magic, right? Magic didn't have the great athleticism, but Magic, he gonna do some pass.
Yeah.
You mean like, yo, how the fuck did he do that?
Yeah.
How did he know the guy was there? Or he'll do a bounce pass, full court bounce pass.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is some amazing shit.
Yeah.
Bird jump shot, crazy. How he making this shot? Dominique Wilkins, how did he do this dunk on three niggas on a fast break? Those are the types of feelings I don't get that from Bron.
Right.
Not saying Bron ain't nice.
Right.
He's nice.
Yeah.
Kobe, I got that from Kobe. Like,
Yes.
how the fuck did he catch that dunk?
Yes.
Like the nigga did a reverse dunk on three niggas. Tim Duncan, like man, like how? I don't get that from Bron. It's not a shot on Bron.
the Phoenix Suns series against Nash and Amari Stoudemire with Kobe doing some of the craziest shots I've ever seen. But
Right, and he's making them shits, right?
yeah,
So my point is that the 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 trajectory that they had for Bron, I think we're basing it off of. You're probably basing it off of he ain't the number one pick. Like we waiting for that next number one pick. And to think about it, Jordan wasn't number. Was Jordan number one? Jordan wasn't number one.
mm-hmm.
Jordan wasn't number one.
It's three.
Three. Kobe wasn't number one. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of great players weren't number one. LeBron was number one.
Yeah.
So I think for me, when I look at Anthony Edwards, I see those glimpses of greatness, bro.
I do. I see it
I
too.
see it, bro. So it and like when Jordan first came into the league, he was young. Anthony Edwards is young.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna build upon that, right? And if he stays injury free, it's sky's the limit with him. Because I'm seeing him do shit that I'm like, this is 90s, early 2000s basketball type behavior.
Yeah. See the guys I think that are special.
Ja Morant too.
Ja Morant, to me, Ja Morant is a taller version of Allen Iverson. That's my personal.
I think when I see Ja Morant, I see a glimpse of Allen Iverson and Derrick Rose combined.
I see that. I see that.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely see that. See, so I think the NBA right now has special guys. Ja Morant, Zion, Anthony Edwards, the kid from San Antonio, Jason Tatum.
Tatum.
So these guys to me are special, and they all have the potential to be that number one guy. And if 10 years later, if one of them to be emerged as the number one guy, I'm not going to be surprised. But the way how I seen history, there's always that one guy that's a little bit over the top. Like, because again, I hate to go back to the 90s. Like a guy like Mitch Richmond. Mitch Richmond, for a lot of people that don't know, used to kill dudes out there. But because he wasn't the guy, people forget about him. You know what I'm saying? One of my personal favorite players that I think is the LeBron before the LeBron. He's probably my second favorite player in all the NBA is Grant Hill.
Brandon Roy. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was a guy. I mean, when I seen him cross Pippen, and people don't know, Scotty was a elite defender, but he crossed Pippen like like Pippen just had no type of chance. Spin and boomed it on him, and then clapped the backboard like that. Clapped the backboard was like, this nigga can't do nothing with me. Get him out of here. Like, so to see that through our history, there's always been, whether if the guy was a number, it doesn't matter if he's a overall number one overall. It's just the fact that to be the number one guy, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think we would. Sorry, no, go ahead.
No. I was just going to regurgitate. I don't think all these guys that are special in the league, they have the potential to be the number one guy. But from what I've seen in the past, it's always those really great players, and then there's always a guy that we didn't see coming that just emerged to be the guy. And that's why, to what you're saying, that Anthony Edwards could possibly be that.
But the level of like Jordan, Bron, Kobe, Magic, I don't think we ever gonna see somebody on those levels, bro.
I mean, we seen glimpses of it with Anthony Edwards. I mean, at times he damn sure looked like Jordan. And I was saying, and I was saying to my my little cousin the other day, I said, yo, so like this is no slight to Anthony Edwards because he's amazing. But if y'all having problems with Anthony Edwards, Jordan in this era would kill, right? So, but that's not the conversation, right? But I just think that history showed that there's going to be another guy, but he has.
If we're going off of history, there's gonna be another guy. But I think honestly, right now, I seen a clip on TikTok today. Right, they was talking about five guys who need to retire.
Oh man, I can't wait.
It was Kawhi Leonard, Chris Paul, They said KD, somebody else, and Bron. There was like all 5 of them need to retire right now. It's over.
Uh-huh. Do you believe that? Do you agree?
Not KD though. I don't think KD need to retire. The
Okay.
rest of them, yeah,
I
yeah,
I, I agree with KD, and I'm gonna slide with I'm gonna keep rolling with Braun only for the fact that it would be dope to see a father play with his son
yeah.
in the
Right.
NBA. You know,
That would be dope. That would be a dream come true for a lot of fathers just to see a father and a son in the NBA together.
yeah,
That would be amazing. That would be dope. And I would want him to be able to get that if that's their dream, right?
yeah, yeah,
But I'm tired of seeing a nigga play. I'm tired of seeing Bron. Man, come on, bro. But I mean, he's good. He's still
yeah,
playing.
yes,
No fault of his that
yes,
the NBA is a little bit more lax, so he's able to play. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like that's why I'm like Kevin Durant gonna play like 5 more years too, even though he's 36.
yeah,
Chris Paul could play another 2 years if he want to, also because the league is softer. It's
yeah,
not as difficult. You just gotta take care of yourself. Kawhi, his knees is a wrap. I don't know what's
yeah,
going on with him.
yeah.
But the talent, I like the talent that's in the league now. I like the younger. I like the Allen Burks. Um, Curry still could play.
Shake, Shay,
Trey could still play. Shea, he's good. You got Maxi, he's nice. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
niggas now, we've
yeah,
been to Maxi was nice, bro.
yeah,
Like people now catching on. We've been to
yeah,
this nigga was nice,
yeah,
even before Harden got there. Like we seen the shit.
yeah,
Like we knew.
yeah, yeah.
You know, Kevin Edwards. I
Brunson,
mean Kevin Edwards. Anthony Edwards. Brunson is nice, yo. Brunson, I'm not gonna lie. Like I ain't gonna lie. I was like, yo, why the fuck is the Knicks taking him, bro?
yeah,
Like when they took him, I was like, come on, Brunson, nigga, what?
yeah,
I know he could play because he was doing his thing on Dallas, right?
yeah,
I knew he could play,
yeah,
but I didn't know he was this good, bro. He's super. He's talented,
yeah,
son.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's talented, yo. I had to give him his props the other night. I'm like, yo, this kid is dope,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I think the league has a lot of great young players, man. The league just has to market and promote them, man. Like they can't keep routing this fucking Lakers shit and Golden State. Like niggas tired of seeing that.
Yeah,
Like you got Minnesota's good, the Pacers is good. The Pacers play like a young Golden State team.
yeah,
They can shoot their ass off. I mean, I think Jimmy Butler's a wrap.
mm-hmm.
He's injured every year,
Yeah,
playoff time. It's a
yeah,
rap fan. He
yeah,
needs to hang it up too.
yeah.
Um, you got Tyler Hero. He's nice.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of nice Tatum, Brown. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think Tatum and Brown is a good fit. Honestly, they don't win this year. Wrap that shit up. Trade Brown.
And
I've been saying this for the past 4 years, bro.
I think they will be interested in trading Brown, but finding the right piece to fit with Tatum is, I think, is the hardest part. Is like, all right, so we're gonna get rid of Brown. Now, who we're gonna bring in? And I think there's maybe like a handful. I don't even think there's a handful of guys, to be honest with you. There's maybe 2 or 3 guys that you could say, okay, I could see him and Tatum playing together. Like I now at this junction in time, I would trade Brown for Mikal Bridges. I would make that trade if I'm Brooklyn, because at least out of Brown, I'm getting a different type of competitive nature. Mikal Bridges, a good player, and he could be a really good player, but he's not competitive. He's dapping the other team up, and as a Brooklyn,
Oh,
I hate that. Mikal Bridges,
oh, Bridges. Yeah,
I
I
hate,
wouldn't.
like
I
when
don't think they need him. I wouldn't make that trade. I think I would make a trade for. I think they need a big man,
yeah,
a big man who's
yeah,
reliable. Because
yeah,
Porzingis, he's injured again.
yeah,
If they had another, like, I think they need a 1-2 punch. You see, like, all right, cool. If they had like an Embiid or Anthony Towns
mm-hmm,
on the Celtics,
mm-hmm.
that would be a great fit.
That would,
Someone to partner with Tatum,
mm-hmm,
because you need somebody who could score on a down low presence that could take scoring problems off of Tatum when he's not on.
yeah,
And the problem with Tatum and Brown, they both play too much perimeter basketball.
yeah,
where they have no down low presence and they go through the motions. If they're not hitting a jump shot,
It's a wrap. Yeah.
it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no inside presence to score. And I think they need someone who can actually score. And I think they're trying that with Porzingis. But Porzingis don't give you enough buckets inside.
Yeah.
He stretches the floor,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? But
Subscribe.
like Anthony Edwards, not and Anthony Towns, he can score down low if you give him the ball down low. You know, beat can score down low if you give him the ball down low.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would be a better fit, like someone who's in that. They don't really need because they got the kid that they got from the Bucks playing. He's a good. He's kind of he'll replace. He's a better fit than Mikal Bridges to me. Forgot his name. You know what I'm talking about though, but I don't know, man. I think the league has a lot of good young players. They just need to focus on them.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on those guys, man. Tatum's. You know, Ja Morant would have been the face of the league if he ain't had this gun charge stupid shit going on. You know, now the next face of the league is they better take advantage of is Anthony Edwards, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like take it, like he's the next one. Him, Tatum, Morant, Zion, Anthony Edwards, Alberton on Pacers, like and it's Halliburton, and it's gonna be these small markets, bro. Like they can't keep forcing it to be LA or New York. You know what I mean? But you do have stars. You got Brunson.
Yeah.
I think they need to get Randall up out of here though. They need him right now.
I had this conversation with a Knick guy about a good 4 months ago, and he was like, "Nah, Randall." Because I said, "No, the Knicks will never be great with Randall. He's a decent player, but you can never be successful with him as your number 1, 2, or 3. He's a 4. Nah, bro. I know my opinions is not popular, but he's a number 4. You're not going to be successful. You could roll out.
He needs to be the third or the fourth string, third or the fourth option. He don't need to be 1 or not 2.
Yes.
He's too ball dominant, bro.
Yeah.
He's a ball stopper.
Yes.
And he don't shoot well enough to be a ball stopper.
Yes.
Melo was a ball stopper, but Melo was my favorite guy. But Melo can hit shots. He's gonna give you a bucket.
Yeah.
You know, even if his shot is off, he gonna go inside and get you a bucket.
Yes.
Randall ain't giving you that, bro. Randall is stopping the play and he pulling for 3. He fall in love with his jump, nigga. Your shit ain't that wet, bro. What you doing? I be like, yo, this guy, yo. That's why the Knicks is better without him.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just need him on the team right now to fill the position so that it's not just Brunson on his own.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they need some other buckets. But Hart is playing well. But I don't know. I'm trading Randall if I'm them after this season, bro. You don't need him.
I said that I was talking to a Knicks guy, and he was like, "No, he's the key piece." And I'm like, "He's not even the best player on your team." So, the Knicks just have to continue to make smart moves. I think it was very strategic and smart to bring in Hart and DiVincenzo because of the chemistry with Jalen Brunson. The kid Harkenstein plays tough. So they have some foundational pieces that they could build upon.
And OG too.
Yes. Yeah. And OG was a very big pickup because his defensive prowess, and people forget he's like 6'8", 6'9". So that's a lot of pause on the perimeter that you need next to a Jalen Brunson. That you know, you can't, like, for the life of me, when the Knicks was like, yeah, we're going to try to the Knicks fan was like, we're going to get Mitchell next. And I'm like, yo, if you got Brunson and now you go get Donovan Mitchell, you guys are
small.
You're too small. You're not going to beat anybody. Now I'm telling you, bro. Thank God they didn't make
OG, you need that 3-4 position that can guard a guard and a big man. So when they spread their wingspan, that's hard for you to get by, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? They could guard a 3-4 or 2 position in between that wing. You need that wing defender that can shoot and play defense. And OG gives them that. And Hart a little bit too. Hart is a little bit smaller. But Hart can do that also, you know? And that's where they find their success. and it's just the court is just spread more open without Randall.
Mm-hmm.
It flows easier.
And on top of that, again, because without him, the ball is moving a little bit more frequently, quite frequently. You got a chance
Mm-hmm.
better. You get a chance for better shots because
Right.
Randall is up regardless if it's a good shot or not, and
Facts. It's
and it works
horrible.
to their detriment. The only thing I would say about the Knicks that they really need to do outside of bringing in another big piece, as far as like that 3-4, they need to really develop a bench to the point where, and I don't even say develop, but trust their bench because Thibodeau has a history
He
for
gonna run Brunson to the ground, bro.
running to the ground. So I think they need to learn how to trust their bench or really develop their bench where they could trust their bench to play and leave these guys fresh or as fresh, as fresh as they can be. Because at this pace and this rate, from what history have shown, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like Bruin,
Same
but
shit happened to Derrick Rose, bro.
same thing happened in Boston. Because remember when Doc Rivers was gone and he took over Boston for a little while, those guys got ran into the ground. Same thing happened with the Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing happened at all his stops. And he's a good coach. He changed it
Yeah.
around, but he runs you to the ground. So that's what I see. So
Mm-hmm.
a combination that I do want to see move forward together. I would like to see Trey Young get with Wimbiana. I think that would be a great pair, a great duo. But all those guys on the Sacramento, on the San Antonio team will not be there next year because if you
Yeah,
watch,
them guys need to go, bro. They don't
yeah,
even be passing him the ball.
that's the point I'm making. They won't be around next year, especially the kid that they try to make a point guard, sack or something. Sacking.
I don't even know them the guy's name.
Yeah, but they moved him from small forward to the point guard, and Wimbiano be wide open. It was like, yeah, nah,
Is that the kid with the blonde hair?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he's a chucker.
yeah,
Horrible.
yeah. Sats and something. It's Sats something. I know I'm messing up his name, but I love the state of the talent. Um, they need to promote the players, but I'm more of a belief. The reason why I think the NBA is a better product is because the team, right? I know NBA is more individual based, but in the NBA, you don't look forward to no teams playing anymore. In the 80s, again, I don't want to regurgitate 80s and 90s, but you look forward to certain matchups. So if the Warriors is playing the Kings today, so what? So
Mm-hmm.
what? It's not beef. So what am I getting out of it? Like, there's no real
Yeah.
rivalries in the NBA. When even if you talk Boston and Celtics, oh word, they playing tonight. I'm not running to my TV to see them play. I don't care because
Mm-hmm.
there's no
Yeah.
they're not marketing the matchup in a way that it should be marketed. Y'all not building no type of competitive nature. So if they
Yeah.
have so that's why I say the NBA is a better product. No matter who wears that jersey, it's up. So same thing with basketball. That has to be a part of the marketing program moving forward because
Mm-hmm.
people are supposed to be team based. Anything that's really team based and not individual based, that's
Oh, I
too.
see what you're saying. I see what you're saying because you said basketball. You was talking about you was meaning football. You was meaning that football they market the team
Right,
versus the team, the
right,
rivalry. You said basketball, so I was a little confused. I'm like, oh, and then you fixed it, so I understand what you mean.
right,
Basketball is more individual based. Oh, I want to see KD versus Bron.
right,
It's not really the Lakers versus the Suns. Like I
right,
don't care about that matchup.
right. And
Not like football where it's like, all right, cool. Dallas, they got to play freaking, this team this weekend. I want to see who will win.
yeah, yeah. And because they not built on that structure, it's a failed structure because people want to see they wanted to see Jordan play, whoever he was going to play in the finals. But they built the
Mm,
team up to be like, yo, this he got to go through, Charles Barkley, Dan Marley, and
mm,
Kevin Johnson. He got to go through them boys. He got to go
Yeah,
through.
it was more built on the Chicago Bulls is coming to town. What the fuck we
Right,
gonna do? They on NBC this Saturday. Chicago Bulls playing,
right,
so
right.
you want to see it. You know what I mean? It's not like that today. It's like, oh, they put a Tatum marquee matchup. Tatum Celtics is playing Philly, but you'll see Tatum face versus
Embiid.
Embiid,
Yeah,
which you still have to do that, but I
right,
know what you mean. It's not a real rival Celtics versus Philly.
right, right.
Nobody cares. Only now, like Philly versus the Knicks, that's a rivalry, right? That's going to
Yeah,
be an ongoing rivalry going forward,
yeah.
right?
But
So and
but
and, and even go ahead.
no, I was just gonna add to it. The reason why it's gonna be a rivalry moving forward because of what's going on, but the NBA has to invest into that rivalry. Like, yo, Philly playing the Knicks. You already
Hmm.
know you got Jalen Brunson. You already know you got Embiid.
Right.
But
Yeah.
if you don't add that to the pot, then people are not gonna care.
Yeah, they got to put it like who's the best in the East? Is it Philly in the Northeast? Is it Philly or is it Knicks or is it the Celtics? They play this weekend. Who you think is gonna win? It's kind of like when Buffalo played Kansas City. You know, all right,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah,
who
yeah,
who who coming out of the AFC? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Which one of these teams is it? You know what I mean?
yeah.
So they gotta build on that momentum, and the NBA is failing on that, and that's where I feel like Adam Silver could do better.
And see, when you
Subscribe.
have stars, right, it makes it easier to say, yo, this team right here, we need to put our marketing dollars. So, for example, Anthony Edwards, a star is born. So now you market Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves. And if Shea Alexander is going to be that, continue to be that guy, now you market them
Mm.
against OKC. And,
OKC,
and
right,
when and if they run into each other, yo, OKC, Minnesota, it's going to be an explosion. Now people are running to the television. You know what I mean?
right.
So I
Nah, I
think
definitely get it.
yeah, I think that would be more beneficial to add to the pot. But bro, man, this has been a dope interview,
Mm.
man. I really appreciate you tapping in with me, tapping into on the rewatch, they're gonna watch this and sharing your
Mm.
information of your journey in the game and everything that you had to offer in the interview, man. I really appreciate that from the heart, bro.
Nah, thank you, bro. I appreciate you for having me, man. Thank you for the platform, being able to share. I love this, bro.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, man. Again, y'all, while understand when you can overstand, we're on every Monday at 9:30.
Mm.
Any other thing you want to shout out before we close up brands and everything?
Nah, just keep following and pushing through, man. That's how we do it. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts. Facts.
follow the brand Brooklyn alumni DJ Block. We here. We keeping it going.
Shot your Instagram real quick.
So the Instagram is DJBLOC at on IG. Other Instagram is Brooklyn alumni on IG. So just follow that.
You already know what time it is. Again, thank y'all for tuning in. You already know what the vibe is. I want to thank the sponsors of the show, OUV Records, Button Snaps, and also One World Tax. So
Subscribe.
until next time, you already know what the vibe is. It's all love. We out of
All
here.
right, man.